It is Old School Essentials, The Further Adventures of the Thunderous Fury, session 53. Time for the recap.
It ended with Karn being taken to Lindbergh by the Ape Empire, which is their capital, with no hope of potentially ever rescuing him from their hairy clutches. But to understand how we got there, we have to step back.
Right.
I forgot why we went into the camp.
So you heard, remember the old woman with the funny teeth who Clintok was talking to, who roamed through your camp, told you about the apes about 2 miles to the south, and there was these strange spores that they had, and that's why you went to the camp to investigate. You went through the briar patch, and then had stepped through the illusion, and a whistle went off, and it wasn't the dinner whistle. It was the whistle to alert that there were intruders.
Whoops.
And yes, and that's when...
The real problem was the old woman didn't say, there's a hostile force sitting right over there. She gave us teases and hints and let us stumble into the damn thing.
No, she told you it was the Ape Empire.
Well, yes, but the Ape Empire, it could be there's a scouting party, or it could be like it is, there's a full-on invasion with, illusion wards and everything. There's a little bit of a scale difference there.
She was light on detail.
Yeah. Fair enough. You stepped through there. There were about 4 apes that were close by that could attack, that were in range. And long story short, you made your retreat. Karn basically said, make sure everybody gets out of there, and step back through the illusion. And I believe everybody stepped back through the illusion.
Yeah, except everybody stepped back through the illusion, and they made it to the briar patch. And the reason that Karn got captured was that Basil just showed up with Zofan and really wanted to punch something. And so he ended up staying a little bit longer than his welcome. Karn, being his nature, just really stayed till he was the last person out.
Right. And there were at least 2 warnings to Karn to retreat and leave, and he did not. And Basil was invisible at one point, trying to punch one of the ape arcane magic users, and then didn't realize when his invisibility ended, and he appeared like the apes had kind of surrounded him, but he was able to run away. And Basil's last-ditch effort was to throw the magic red dart and hit one of the apes, and he does not know what actually happened to this ape that was hit with the red dart. Then you guys all made it back to the camp, and all but Karn, and Gloric took his barley blend out, and you guys smoked it to contemplate what to do, what the plan was. Jalak ended up cooking hobgoblin cuisine that was very spicy, and the food was undercooked. Well, for you guys, but
Watered one of my yaks. I'm still pissed about that.
And Jahin actually boosted morale and told the great stories of Karn and how you were going to rescue him. The heroic rescue that was going to happen. And the only encounter you had that night was an orc came through the camp and went to Lurk's Rest, which you guys were still at, and he left. It turned windy and wet the next day. So you set out to free Karn. And Remy said, I'm going. Because you talked about the illusion, and Remy said, I actually know stuff about illusions.
Well, didn't we? So, well, when we were smoking and eating, there was a discussion on like whether it'd be better to go like sooner or wait till the morning.
Right.
And we decided to go basically after dinner because it was like dark out.
Yeah. You went at like 3 a.m.
Yeah. Because like when we got to the camp and we went through the illusion, it was daylight. Right. We were like, what? We were confused.
Yeah. So yeah. So the magic that they had controlled what the light situation was. So it was Clintok, Zofan, Basil Wilberforce, and Remy all stepped through the illusion. And I believe Zofan and Remy failed their save and were messed up by the illusion and were a little bit dizzy. And you guys split off because Remy said that this is so powerful. The reason that they're able to do this is they obviously have some kind of amplification, something they're using to amplify the spell or the magic, and it's probably four corners. So you set out to look for these rocks. Remy used her auditory illusion to create a rock slide on the other side of the valley because her stealth is not very good. And so to distract them, so you made it to one side, and it was Remy and Clintok, and Remy told you to modify the runes on some stone that you found. So you found a rock outcropping. You used the monocle. Yeah, there's magic there. And she said to do this, and there were insects, like swarms of insects started showing up. And on the other side was Zofan and Basil. And you guys, I believe, took the piece down, took the stone down and used a crowbar to disfigure the runes.
Yeah.
And it put it into like almost total darkness.
Yeah, for like half the camp, because we like shut off two of them. And so then there was that caught the attention of the ape overlords.
Yep. Yeah, because you went down into the valley and across to the other side of the camp and did the same thing and dropped that into darkness. And then Clintok and Remy went down again on the other side, and this time locusts started appearing when you changed the runes. So there were locusts and swarms of insects and darkness everywhere, and looked like some irate ape went out to check on something. Basil ends up getting grabbed and taken back into one of the huts. Zofan proceeds to follow and realizes that he looks out of place and jumps in a mud puddle.
Yep.
And then waits. There's an exchange between Basil and this ape. And basically, Basil convinced him, or at least sounded like he convinced him, that Karn made him do all these things, and he was holding his mother and sister hostage, and he was a very bad person, and if they were going to hurt them, and he just wanted his mother. So it seemed like he had convinced him that he'd been put up to it, and he tried to put him to sleep, and then Basil faked falling asleep, and that's when the ape walked over and stepped on his arm and hit him with a hot branding iron and branded his forearm and screamed. And that's when Zofan came in pushing a cart and got one attack in, and the ape then hit him and not critted him, but dropped him, and he took another concussion.
God damn.
Yeah.
Walking concussion boy.
Yeah, that fight happened. I actually made Paul use a hustle point to make me re-roll because his character would have dropped, and then I had to re-roll, and I failed. And he ended up killing that ape. He got some of Karn's effects, and then gave some healing potions to Zofan. You guys got out of there. On the other side, it was chaos because Clintok set a cart on fire. He firebombed a cart that they were, and I told you the spores did not burn, but the cart burned. And there was something talking about carts spontaneously exploding. And he set another cart on fire, which the guy said, "Look, see, I told you." Remy tried to climb up the watchtower and failed. Clintok easily got to the watchtower, got into a fight, and hit the ape. Yeah, this is the poor ape that got hit with the grappling hook. And he crit failed as he tried to punch Clintok and fell over. And Remy grabbed the rope and flew up into the watchtower, which technically she shouldn't have been able to do because Her dex, I believe, is 11. I rolled 11. I should have rolled under, but we'll just say that she has a hustle point anyway. So she was able to do it. It was dramatic. So she showed up. You guys set the tower on fire since you were on the inside, because there's some sort of pitch or something that they apply to the watchtower to prevent it from burning. Got back down. Remy fails her check on the way down and crashes to the ground, getting a concussion.
At the top of the tower.
Yeah, at the top. Yeah, at the top.
The edge.
Yes, she fails that epically.
Falls 40 feet.
Yes. Clintok puts her in a cart and then faces the guy with the grappling hook, who critically fails 2 more times. He tried to punch and like broke his hand or something. Eventually he died, and you guys were able to make your way. Yeah, you guys were able to make your way out with the 2 injured people, Remy in the cart, and I would presume you would have made your way out and gone all the way back to the camp.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So you guys are back at the camp. It is, I don't know, probably like 9 o'clock in the morning. The fire is going, and everybody at the camp sees the crew show back up. Clintok pushing the cart with Remy laying in it, and with Zofan, and Felix and Basil Bessex, I believe, went also as reinforcements.
Yeah, we were waiting on the other side.
Yeah, in case something came through. So you guys are all back at the camp now.
So, and the official reason for Orion not helping in that little, frankly, clusterfuck was, or was there no official reason? He just
there was no official reason. There was no official reason. There was given for that.
That I don't know. Maybe Orion, the chili didn't sit well. It was very hot and spicy and undercooked.
Right, and how the heck, right? Had a case of the runaways, the runs. There you go. And how the heck do we know that Karn was taken to the capital?
I think one of the one ape that branded him said something, right?
You ran into, I think it was Basil Wilberforce ran into one of the apes and said, I need to go talk to the prisoner, da. And the guy said, oh, whatever, he mentioned Lindbergh. Now, whether he's actually in Lindbergh, whether he's actually there or not, you haven't confirmed, but that's what he said. It was like, oh yeah, we'll send you to Lindbergh or something.
All in all, here's my 2 cents here's my thoughts on the matter, and then we can debate from there. Remy is absolutely right that this is, the Charlie thing is time sensitive, because if we wait too long, the weather itself is going to turn against us, and we won't have supplies, and blah, 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 blah. All sorts of nasty shit's going to happen if we screw around too long. So if Karn is in Lindbergh, yeah, he's, I'm all for rescuing him, but not necessarily this minute. On the other hand, the Ape Empire is probably going to get it. We've given them a nice bloody nose. They're probably going to get in our way, if not just flat out walk over and stomp us into a pace. We need backup, and we need backup quickly. It's only a couple of days, maybe even just one long day if we hustle back to the Hobgoblins camp, and we can get them to go tangle with the Ape Empire, maybe free Karn, but more importantly, we won't be the only problem the Ape Empire has at that point. Because right now we're the only problem the Ape Empire has, and they're gonna come out and start dancing on our heads if we don't do something about it. But if we get the Hobgoblins involved, especially if we send somebody both forward and back and get the Hobgoblins in both camps, both sides of the road involved in this, then we can definitely have somebody else. give the Ape Empire somebody other problem than just us.
Zofan pipes up. That is reasonable. If we're going to go and attempt to rescue Karn, then we're not going to be able to do it alone. Not unless they're distracted.
Yeah. So from here, and we can ask our hobgoblin friends, how far ahead is it to find the next hobgoblin camp versus how far back is it to get to Yasida's camp? Which one's closer?
He says the camp back to the north is probably a day away. He said
Yasida's or the next hobgoblin camp?
Well, there's a lazy hair herd camp that you guys passed, and that's basically Yasida's group.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if we pass another hobgoblin group, like we have an inn with Yasida. Yeah, I beat. Well, I challenged, at least made a challenge at an arm wrestling contest. We have an inn with Yasida's group. We don't have an inn with whatever other clan we might run into.
Oh, okay. That was my misunderstanding, maybe. I thought there was another part of Yasida's clan that was further down the path. And that's why we had the banner, because they would allow us to pass if we had Yasida's, banner.
There's basically
Yeah, right?
Yasida claims a certain part in these mountains, like a certain area, and the
Right.
banner just allows you to walk through there. There potentially could be smaller groups of his clan out here in the mountains somewhere, or scouts or something. But the main camp, as Gluerk will say, is like a day away. He says if he leaves now, he could probably get to that camp by nightfall. And then Yasida's camp, Yasida is probably a day from there. So he says in 2 days he could get back to Yasida if that's what your plan is.
Do you think Yasida, you know him better than we do. Do you think he would even entertain mustering some of his forces to attack the Ape Empire capital?
Yes, they're on his lands, of course.
Well, the capital maybe not, but they're right here, taking over his land. So whatever, they're gonna. So yeah, he can either fight back now or give up this land because the Ape Empire is here in force. So,
but we need to get to the capital. This can't.
We don't know that. I'm listening to the GM here. Sorry, we heard the capital mentioned, but we're not exactly sure Karn is there yet.
He certainly wasn't at the camp.
Oh, you didn't find him?
No, we searched.
From what we searched, we didn't find him. There's potential that he's not there, but it's very likely that the camp itself has a gateway of some sort, or somebody who can create a gateway to the capital,
or just teleport.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
You did collect. So Basil Wilberforce pulls out this jade crystal that seems to glow, and he says, collected this, and he's got Karn's effects. He's got the whip and this weird statue that Karn had, and the Hemadai sword.
Oh, the hell did you get one of Karn's effects? Well, that's right. See, never mind.
Well, they were in the hut when he went in there. They took them from Karn.
Yeah.
And also he collected a spell book.
If I could read, I would totally love that spell book. All just elvish to me.
Maybe once Remy comes to, she might be able to make heads or tails of it.
I think we've got no option about informing Yasida and retreating a bit, because You guys put a major hurting on that encampment, and I just don't see him going, oh, well, we'll let them get away and not worry about them. They aren't a big issue, whatever. We got to get our asses out here and get forces clashing, other than us clashing with the Ape Empire, no matter what. Sorry, IMO, of course. So, but we've also got a time limit, and let's be honest here. Karn signed on to this. He would be more for us, helping out Charlie than rescuing him. And that plus the fact that if we manage to help out Charlie may help us with the other issue. So I'm happy to split, but I think main party wise, we need to go inform Yasida and then use Yasida's army as a cover to keep going, doing what we were doing. Sorry, my humble opinion.
We'd have to find someone who can fight vampires. Like, I can punch vampires, but I'm pretty sure Karn could punch them better than I.
We're not going to fight the millennia-old vampire. We either talk to him or we run the hell away. We are not going to fight him.
Convince him to arm wrestle.
I was going to say, if you want, you can challenge him to an arm wrestling. So I'm not seeing that work too well either.
You never know. We would want somebody who can at least bless my biceps before that match.
Oh, come on, Orion. It's just 2 days of a detour. We still have weeks to go. I don't know about you, but I was planning on just sleeping a few extra days anyways.
What are you suggesting?
Well, what better story than the traveling party that crept into the Ape Empire's capital, freed their friend, and came back?
You're assuming we can use the gateway. Otherwise, it's what, a couple of weeks away minimum?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course we can figure out a way to use the gateway.
I'm sure Remy's got the smarts.
Let's sick Yasida on the camp. And if we can figure out a fast way in the capital, we'll work from there. But we have to stick Yasida on the camp because last time we tangoed with the camp, we lost twice.
Gulork, we're able to keep a portal open, hypothetically, into the Ape Empire, that any number of hobgoblin soldiers could potentially march through right into the center of it. Do you think Yasida and his clan would take the opportunity to strike back?
This sounds like some sort of work of the arcane.
Which Yasida hates. He's not going to use it. Yasida hates magic. He's not going to use magic.
Dustin, give me a D20 roll.
1.
He says, I have more barley blend left. If we shall we smoke it one more time? This is all I have left. Before I depart, we will contemplate what course of action you wish to take. And sure. I will. Okay. So yeah, he takes the same thing. You guys have had this before. The finely chopped golden brown leaf, malty undertones, sweet taste, helps in digestion. So he begins to light up his gourd pipe and pass it around. Remy comes too as she starts to smell the pipe smoke, and just kind of sits up out of the cart, pushes off some spores that are laying on her. Oh, my head's killing me. She reaches in, pulls her flask out, takes a quick drink. You can see the beginnings of she's going to have 2 black eyes.
Remy, do you have a concussion? Because I sure do.
I think so. All I remember is I was trying to climb down from that tower, and I don't think I made it. Well, I got this far.
Well, upside, you have some semi-permanent smoky eye for a little bit, so there you go.
Hey, great. Eyeshadow for the poor. Wow. Wow.
Remy, if it's all right with you, maybe we should stick together tonight. We may need to keep each other up.
Yeah.
They say you're not supposed to fall asleep after concussions, and I think that's why I keep getting them.
All right. So if you guys want to contemplate one question that you want to, and then you just somebody has to make an intelligence roll.
Ryan's abilities are not better abilities. Completely freaking average.
Intelligence check, and you get a +2. So whatever your intelligence is, just add 2 to it.
Basil's got a 12.
Oh, well, Basil is maybe the best as far as I know.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think Basil
has the best
W.
intelligence in the bunch. That's saying something.
Hey.
I think Basil W has a pretty darn good one, but he's not here. He's not involved in the conversation. There you go. That's the explanation. Not involved in the conversation. I guess the real question is if we get into the camp and find that Karn has been shuffled off to the capital, do we want to try and follow, or do we want to keep with the current quest?
We have pretty good reason to believe that he's been taken to the capital. I think like using the one, is it that we get like what is the benefit of the blend?
It's well, it aids in digestion, but the whole mechanic is when vexed by a problem, a character or characters may sit down, get out their pipe, and spend an hour smoking in quiet contemplation or in debate with companions. If the hour passes undisturbed, the player may make an intelligence check. If several characters debate together, you get a +2. Maximum +2. If the check succeeds, the referee gives the player a clue about the problem being contemplated.
Ah, okay.
So, I mean, the real question is, do we try to rescue Karn no matter what, or do we keep on the mission if Karn's in the capital, do we keep on the mission, or do we try to rescue Karn?
I mean, we can't just leave Karn to rot. Well, also, am I going to get healed?
Yeah, I know. Orion was the one who keeps pointing out that Karn is both the meat shield and the healer of the party, and we need him badly.
Not just a meat shield, but a pretty dang good distraction at all notice.
Yes. Very few people do loud like Karn, yes.
I think maybe it's worth contemplating whether or not there's a way to convince Yasida to send some chaos into the capital if possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would make our escape plan a lot easier than going in just as our small group.
That's true. Okay, you have a point there.
Or it could also start a large range conflict.
Always good. There's already chaos in Clintok.
So what's the question you want to ask, Sid?
What, if anything, could we do to convince Yasida to send in a raiding party into the capital, assuming we can open a portal?
Okay. All right. I'm okay with that.
So from your guys' interaction with Yasida before, you realize that he is very suspicious of magic. And to convince him to go through any kind of magical means to get somewhere is going to take a lot of convincing. Gluark is probably not going to be able to do it. You would have to show up and put out your best effort to convince him to do that. Gluark is pretty solid, pretty convinced, or I wouldn't say for a fact, but 99% sure that he will send troops in there to kill the apes because he hates them. So that's not an issue. Anything dealing with magic, he is going to step back from.
Right.
Got it.
And sending him out, he's more of a local kind of, like, going to Lindbergh to attack them would not be something he would think of. Again, you would have to really convince him. You'd have to make a really interesting argument about why he needs to go there.
All right. Well, maybe we don't have to convince him so much as if the portal is made non-obvious, that maybe we could accidentally lead a small group with us in through the portal. Like if it's just an inside of a hut or something, be pretty easy to trick a group to charge into a hut that they can't see in because there just happens to be no light for some reason.
Hobgoblins. We found out in the dungeon breakout that hobgoblins have infrared vision, and it ate us alive.
Too bad.
When that happened.
Good point.
Okay. Don't get me wrong. I am all for throwing allies under the bus in order to rescue Karn. I am all for that. Trust me on that.
A harebrained idea, though. If Ysida comes with us, what devout followers of Ysida wouldn't follow their own leader if he just happened to find himself on the other side of a magical portal?
Or we could just tell them, I saw you sort of go through that thing. You said something about killing the mages.
Yeah, something like that.
I have no problems with throwing our allies under throwing the hobgoblins under the Empire's metaphorical thighs.
I'd rather we try to avoid making any new enemies. In my travels, hobgoblins are some of the fiercest and best warriors out there. I would hate to give them reason to hate us, or at least to become enemies of theirs. And well, there are different factions and clans that have different alliances. If something like, it could be thought of poorly by all of the clans.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think the easy sell is he deals with the apes, we deal with the magic, since he doesn't want to play with it.
Yeah.
That's the easy sell.
And then maybe somebody within their ranks will join us, like maybe one of the ogres.
Right. The step up from that would be, I don't know if this is a lie or not, but we could say, hey, the ape said they could come back unless somebody wrecked this stuff on the other side. Send a couple of guys with us to help us wreck this stuff, That way we could maybe get a couple guys through the portal to cause havoc while we did our thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, it's best to just play it by ear and just try to like reasonably convince whoever without any like real trickery. Just be kind of open about it. Like, hey, anyone wants to help, all is appreciated. Then we're not upset any of the Hobgoblin tribe.
I think that's fair. The Ape Empire is going to be coming back, especially if their camp was destroyed. Any of the hobgoblins in the area will be put under the will be suspects and targets.
Yeah, absolutely.
So whether or not, however they feel about magic, like the war is coming to their land, it would be better to take it to them.
Yeah.
Isn't that a hobgoblin way? Glork?
What is our ways?
Is it part of your warrior spirit to take the battle and be the attacker rather than being the defender?
When it presents itself.
There we go.
So Remy ends up looking at the spell book because it gets passed around. And you can see for a moment she kind of closes her eyes and says a few words, like whispers them, and opens them up, and she starts to look at it, and she says, this is interesting. It's about 12 spells in here.
Any good ones?
Let's see. It's read magic, read languages, hold portal, detect magic, shield, detect invisible, knock, wizard lock, dispel magic, and something called Primus's miraculous glyph restoration.
Like first through third level of the magic user list.
Correct.
Well, it'd be nice if we had a character who could use that, but Orion bards in this system uses druidic magic, so I'm going to help him a huge amount.
We could go back to Twin Rivers and find us some sort of arcane practitioner to help us.
That would take a long time.
It may true, but as she looks at you and you look back at her, and she looks at Zofan and you look back at her with her beginning shiners, and she's like, yeah, but both of us are not in very good shape to be doing anything.
Well,
so you're trying to figure out what to do while you're recuperating.
Honestly, aren't we going to go to a very large city? Certainly, we can find a magic user of some sort in Lindbergh now.
What do you mean? Like, are you? Well, I'm talking about, like, if you get into the camp, and what happens if you can't open this portal?
Oh, well, yeah.
If there is one, it seems like the way you described it, there's probably some kind of arcane. There's some kind of portal, considering the spells in this book. But if it's locked or something, there's no way I can open it.
He's not an arcane magic user? I thought she was. Great. So if we run into problems, we're going to need a magic user. Great. An unfortunate but salient point.
As unlikely as it is it possible any of the people in the camp that we just passed, or and Yasida's direct camp might be hiding some sort of magical talents?
Yeah, how do we find them?
Lurk just kind of gives you like a sideways look, like the dog would when you're like, what?
Yeah, like,
he looks very confused by the question. Remy says, that was that strange old woman that came to the camp. We could try to track her down. Who knows where she is?
Oh, good point. Probably not that far along the road.
No.
Yeah, if nothing else, we owe her. If nothing else, we owe her a little bit of kvetching. There's a nice word, kvetching, because like I said, there's a difference between the Ape Empire is doing something over there, and they got an entire freaking work camp with massive illusion wards and multiple whatevers. Oh well, okay, sure, we can try that.
All right. Let's try to track down the old lady with Jolene. She was heading in the direction of the camp anyway, so.
Yeah, she was headed north. So what's the plan? Is the plan to send Gluark back to Ysida and tell him what's going on and bring soldiers, and then you can send somebody with him? He doesn't want too many people going with him because it might slow him down. Obviously, not somebody in like full plate, but or you can send another group north to try to track down the old woman. Presumably she would stay on the road and not venture off into who knows where.
Yeah, I think maybe we all head back to like the camp that was just a day away, and then let Gluark go the extra day and wait for him at that camp for reinforcements.
Okay. Gotcha. So back to the lazy hair herd camp.
Yeah, we damn well need to run away because, like I said, the chance that the Ape Empire is going to ignore our asses after the last night's fiasco is pretty damn low.
Yeah, and then maybe that gives Remy and Zofan a day to rest up a little bit.
With that said, Zofan, you are 7 days, and Remy is 5.
Got it. And you'll get 2 days of rest because, like, it's an additional day for Gluark to get to Ysida, and then presumably if they come immediately, then that's only another day. So only 2 days, but maybe it's like 3 or something. Who knows?
Okay. All right. So packing everybody up and headed back to the lazy hair herd camp.
Yeah. I think that makes the most sense.
Okay. Past the murky pond where you did some fishing, and cut down juniper trees and the small hills and rocky outcroppings, and you make it all the way back to the camp by nightfall as it starts to get dark. And you can see, you pass a couple soldiers, hobgoblins, like lines going into the camp. There's like plumes of smoke. There's also that grassy area with the huge rock that you got the gems from, so you could easily camp right there again and set up your camp.
That sounds good. Is Gluark gonna just like not sleep and just keep going, or is he gonna like rest overnight?
He is going to rest now, and then probably in the middle of the night get up and make his way, because you may need him to cook.
True. Felix will say, if you need an escort on the trail, I'm happy to come with you back to Ysida.
He looks you over and sees, like, the weird scarring you have on your face and everything, and he's like, yes, maybe you should accompany me. We will leave at late. He kind of points like, when these stars have aligned, when these stars are over on this side of the horizon, we will leave then. So, all right, so we're camping. You should have no issue finding firewood. So we need somebody to do. Well, we know. I'm assuming Orion's going to do the camaraderie. And
we got what's his name? We still got Dan. Yeah, I'm training him. But first he's going to do it. He's got to work his confidence up with small groups so that he can do it with bigger groups.
Okay,
we'll make him hard yet.
All right, so we need an intelligence roll from somebody to get a sufficient fire going.
Basil can try.
All right.
Do a dice that won't fail me. That's a 2, which is
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. So yeah, you've collected some firewood. You got some fire going, and wisdom check for the food. If you want, I think Lurk did it last time. If you want him to stay and cook the food, he will gladly cook some great hobgoblin cuisine for you.
It depends on whether or not Orion trusts his cooking.
Given the events of last night.
Uh-huh. Of course, I'll be happy to try things again. It's part of a bard's job to go out and try new experiences, even if it bothers them sometimes.
Maybe I misspoke. Was it Glurk that did it or Jalak?
Oh, I think it was Jalak.
Jalak, I take that back. Yes, Jalak. I was just looking. Jalak is the one that cooked. So Jalak can again cook up the food for you if somebody wants to make a roll for him.
I will.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll just roll it one. Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he is cooking up some great hobgoblin cuisine spices. Last time I think he caught some pheasant. This time he catches like some hares or something, and he's cooking them up. Just enough to be seared just a little bit, and he cooks up some of those mushrooms, and then I guess you want Jahin to do the charisma check because whatever story he's going to tell.
Yep. I'll help him with the story. I mean, it does take a little practice to come up with the right cadence and story.
Yeah.
But his boy's got the natural charisma to deal with it. So let me make a roll. He does quite well. He rolls a 3.
Yeah. So what's his story about?
His story is about the raising the hobgoblin horde to throw back the ape empire off their lands. Not that worked well last time historically, but hey, never mind. His story is about raising the hobgoblin horde to throw back the ape empire. There you go.
Okay, very good. So what's the watch schedule tonight as it gets dark?
Zofan would take as many watches as he could stay up for.
Okay.
And he would try to convince Remy to join him so that she doesn't fall asleep either.
Remy is probably going to attempt to stay awake as well, but I would say outside mechanically, you probably don't want 2 people in the first 24 hours of concussion at -4 doing watching. Probably not the best.
Watching people, what is
Uh,
what is that blur over there? I don't know.
well,
I'll take first or last. I mean, Ryan's got. We don't have any night eye people here, do we? No elves, no hobgoblins, other than the one we're sending off.
You got your lock. I mean, he could do a watch if you needed him to.
Clintok is always
He's
take last.
traveling a good chunk.
Yeah.
He's going to be traveling a chunk of the night anyway, right?
Well, you've got 2 hobgoblins. You got Glurk, and you got Jalak.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Right, Jalak. Jalak could take one of the mid watches then, since that's dead of night. I'll take first or last.
All right, I'll put Orion on first with Zofan.
Yeah, and Felix will take second watch because I assume that's roughly when he'll leave, is somewhere in there.
Okay.
At the end of that.
All right, so Felix will be up. So yeah, you guys are resting. You're watching. You're hearing some of the hobgoblins singing songs over in the camp, and they're moving in and out. They're doing training or whatever they're doing, like in and out all through the evening. even as it gets dark, groups of them head out. They go north, they go south up the road. Is there any plan to go look for the mysterious woman?
If we head back to Yasuda's plant to Kent, is she headed that way also, or is she headed the opposite way?
She was headed north, so that would be in that direction. Now, whether she followed the road exactly or went off in some other direction, who knows? But she probably wasn't moving very fast.
So let's head that way and watch for her tracks and presence while we head that way.
Also, Clintok will be using his gem finder because he gave her a very large gem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay. So is there going to be any attempt at night, or is it probably tomorrow you will probably look for her?
Clintok will, during like roughly the first watch, will offer to do some scouting. If no one else wants to go, he is fine with that.
So Clintok is going to do some scouting. Okay.
Basil's fine to wait for the morning. She's an old woman, so she can't go that far.
Don't underestimate people due to age.
I don't remember her moving very fast. But I don't know. Maybe she got a card or something.
Remy is not crazy about you heading off, Clintok going off by himself scouting. But she is really in no state to assist.
Clintok says, I've never gotten into trouble before on my own.
Oh God.
Says Pernala can go. She's still injured. She's still obviously, missing a couple digits in her. She still hasn't recovered from her injury yet. But so you could take her, and then she looks over at Jahin. Take him.
Oh. Sure. In the event I need to run away, can always trails off.
So
Right.
Jahan is him and his mighty 2 hit points with his leather armor and a torch, is all excited to accompany you in what is this scouting mission gets to go on.
All right. Well, young boy, just follow me, try to keep up.
I will, sir, yes. And he will follow you. So as it gets dark, you just headed up the road?
As Clintok wanders away, Orion happens to wander by him and say, and Sato voice, quietly, do try to keep him alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up the road, but I'll be looking for like tracks or anything like obvious.
Okay.
That might indicate somebody like leaving the trail.
Okay.
Any shuffling footprints or something like that.
It's late evening, so it's like 7-8 o'clock as it gets dark. So Zofan, Orion, you're on the first watch. Everybody's sort of like bedded down, except for Remy, who's sitting up against one of the yaks, just kind of laying there, drinking from her flask.
Remy, I heard it's bad to drink alcohol after a concussion.
She's like, who told you that?
A shaman once?
A shaman? I'm guessing there are more drunks than there are shamans. So she takes another drink.
Well,
I'm guessing there are a lot more drunks than there are.
My apologies to Willie Nelson. That's a line in a song that I purged. But anyway, Zofan, give me a D6 roll as we begin the first watch.
all right. Let's see how it goes. That's a 1.
Orion, give me a D12 roll.
D12. That would be a 5.
Wes, give me a D20 roll.
1.
So your shift goes. You don't hear anything. Just the hobgoblins. The fire is still going over there at their camp, and sometimes there's hooting and hollering and people moving down the road. Your watch passes without any issue.
Nice.
Clintok, give me a D6 roll.
4.
Okay. So you're moving up the road, and searching for any kind of like footprints. There's a lot of foot marks in the road from just the travel, because this is just a road that's well traversed.
Yes.
And the first, I would say the first probably a couple hours pass as you're just like searching. You don't come up with anything. Like, you got the compass out, you're looking. I mean, nothing comes up. I mean, if you can continue on if you wish, or head back.
I'll go on for another couple hours and then head back.
Okay. So Jalak and Felix are now on watch as it gets very late, probably around midnight.
It's D6.
Yeah, give me a D6 roll.
1.
Okay, so Jalak is sitting there, and he elbows you and he says, "Over there." He points, and then like coming out of the grass, like out of the skulking, like low crawling in the grass. Looks like 2 figures start coming towards, like, sort of where your camp is, but the rock is over on the side, and they've come out like where there's like some small trees and stuff, and they're like low crawling.
All right. It's Jalak, or
Yeah, it's Jalak. Jalak is with you.
okay. I had too much to drink. I'm gonna get up and use the restroom. I'll be back. I'll say this quite loud, and get off to head in the direction of the trees that they're heading towards. Right?
Well, they're coming out of the trees, like they're heading in your direction. So they could try to go around that rock, or they could try to cut between you and the big rock.
Yeah, I'll just head towards basically where they're coming from, but
Okay.
like off like I'm going to the bathroom, so they don't necessarily suspect anything.
Okay, so Jalak kind of stands up and stretches out a little bit, and you're walking. Do you have a light source?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a torch out.
So you've got your torch out, and you get within like 10 yards, and you can clearly see these 2 guys like skulking in the grass, and they pop up like, "We've been spotted," and they pull out daggers and they charge you, and then we'll roll initiative.
Nice.
Be away from the camp, or
I rolled a 6. It's near the camp. There's 2 intruders in the camp.
I rolled a 7. So.
All right, you are up first.
Nice. Intruders in the night, stop where you are, and I will charge at one of them.
Okay. My
blade. Are they close enough that I can get?
Yeah, they're charging you. You can just,
Okay.
I mean,
does a 15 hit?
Oh yeah.
Okay. For 9 damage.
All right, tell me how he dies.
The blade just cleaves from the top of his skull down through his jaw at a 45-degree angle. Comes out clean, wet with blood.
Okay, nice.
Awesome. If that doesn't scare the shit out of the guy next to him, I don't know what will.
A proper fendente, he says.
Let me check what. Okay.
Now, nasty.
So the guy pauses for a second and charges you with his dagger.
Okay.
He thought about it. He made a morale check. So
Nice.
yeah, he was a little bit concerned. You don't know if he's all into this. He kind of swings with that dagger.
Yeah.
And he misses. The next round is I go with 5.
Since I am the only one engaged, you just want me to roll again, or
Yeah, you can roll again. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I think Zofan would still be up. So Zofan might just run headlong with his -4
Oh god.
to protect the camp.
All right, well, I'll let you roll then if you're
Okay.
Concussed Zofan would do that. That is a 4.
Okay. So he will go first. Clintok is right. I mean, sorry. Felix is right there. I don't 16, even with a bonus. I don't think that's gonna hit. What's your armor class again?
Since I have a torch in one hand and not a shield currently, then it's 17.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're able to like deflect it with your sword. So you can attack this guy.
And I win. Does an 18 hit?
Yeah.
All right. For 5 damage.
Yeah, you tell me how he dies as well.
This time catches him with a kind of like wide cut right through his arm that has his dagger, taking the arm clean off, and then buries it into like his rib cage, causing a lot of bleeding. He just like slides down the blade until he falls off.
Okay. So kind of looking at Jalak comes running over, kind of looking at these guys as Zofan heads over as well.
Zofan would be stumbling over, yeah.
They seem to you to be probably like bandit types or, unsavory individuals. Their dress is kind of tattered. Or they were just wearing like regular clothes.
Humans?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you do notice that both of them have like around their wrists some kind of strange vine druid craft kind of bracelet that they're both wearing.
You think they were friends?
It's a friendship bracelet, right?
I don't know. Well, I hope they can keep each other company in the afterlife.
What should we do with the bodies?
Well, I don't know. What do your people normally do, Jalak?
Kind of picks up like the arm, drops it, and says, I will drag these over to the camp, and they can deal with these dead bodies as they wish.
All the better. Less work for me. I have travels ahead.
Some of them may still partake in the old ways. So Jalak and like Pernala gets up and start dragging these guys back there. They have 2 daggers. That's pretty much it. Nothing else of note.
Felix will pocket a dagger.
Okay. So Clintok, give me another D6 roll.
1.
All right. So you and Jahin are out here kind of like searching around. You pull out your compass and all of a sudden it points off in a direction.
Well, we might have found some luck yet tonight, boy. Follow me, stay close, and try to stay quiet. First thing he does, though, is he takes out his monocle and sees if he can see anything magical off in the direction that he's heading.
No, you smell smoke like of a campfire.
Oh. Well, the old lady might have not gotten very far now.
So it's you're kind of like making your way past some rocks. You kind of like have to go in, like snake back and forth between these rocks.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be trying to be quiet, so I can roll for that.
Okay.
If you notice what Jahan will manage.
Not very well. If you want him to wait back, you can, or he'll follow you.
If he stays like really close to me at first, I'll be like, keep your distance, boy. Keep your distance.
Okay.
And I'll actually like try and like cover my light. I'm just gonna use a candle. So
Okay. So you kind of go past, you snake past some of these rocks, and you see a small fire that's smoldering. And there appears to be somebody laying on the ground sleeping, and the light is reflecting off a sphere, a very familiar sphere that's like sitting in the camp.
how close am I?
You're probably like 15 yards away.
I'll just say in a quite obvious voice, "Ah, Jolene, we've found you."
Uh-huh.
You see the orb, like the glass thing, turn, and the like the rag doll thing in it kind of turn and look, and its eyes kind of glow at you.
No worries, not foe, friend. Don't forget, we provided you with food. Well, not you, but you know.
And like coming to, like getting up. What is it? Who wakes me?
Oh, it's just your fellow traveler Clintok, and I don't think I caught your name the first time.
I didn't tell you my name. It's Dollie.
Oh, well, pleasure to meet you again, Dollie. And I am most regrettably sorry for waking you. But I came in search of your help potentially.
You did.
Yeah, I've got an offer for you.
She looks down at the glass orb. What do you think, Jolene? Speak.
Well, as you know, I gave you that nice precious stone that you have there, and I know you were heading north, but I require your services south. Now, the catch is that ape encampment that you told us about.
Yes, the ape encampment. Oh, very, very curious.
Yeah, we did find it. We went to it. Nice bit of trickery. Would have been nice to know about, but I didn't ask. That's my fault.
Trickery? What do you mean trickery?
The whole illusion thing.
Oh.
Did you not run into an illusion when you went to the encampment?
You speak of things I maybe take for granted.
Oh, well, fair enough. Maybe it's just everyday magic for you. But do you remember our quite rather loud devotee that was with us?
Mm-hmm. He looks over at Jolene. You swear that ragdoll nods in agreement. She looks back at you.
Well, he seems to have got himself in quite the predicament. So
You don't say.
yeah, he might be in the capital of the Ape Empire.
You trailed off there. I couldn't catch what you said.
The capital of the Ape Empire.
And why is this a concern to me?
I found a spell book
Mm-hmm.
Had quite a few spells in it. Our traveling companion that can read magic said it had 12 spells.
Continue.
The catch is that we did find a particular gem that we think may be necessary to use the portal. Now, the issue is, even though our friend that can read magic, she herself is not imbued with the abilities to actually use it. So there's some chance that whatever this key is also requires a certain arcane touch. And maybe you have that, maybe you don't. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, if you wouldn't mind providing backup if necessary, and if you would do such a thing, I think the spell book would be yours.
You offer me a spell book for my help. Is breakfast involved?
Oh, yes. Have you ever had a hobgoblin made breakfast?
She spits on the ground.
Oh, what I meant is that if you've had, what we will be preparing will be immensely better than such a meal.
Good save.
Good.
Because in the direction you're traveling, that's basically all you're going to find is hobgoblins preparing food, at least for a few days. Where we could provide some human-made food, maybe some that's cooked.
And she puts her hand through like her matted, dirty hair, and like sticks and twigs come out of it. Well, my
What a
dear.
charmer.
Well, I think sounds good idea. What do you think, Jolene? Oh, I like him too. She reaches down and picks up the orb and kind of stomps out the fire and picks it and rolls up like a dirty mat. And she collects her stuff and she says, "Where to?"
Oh, if you'd like, my friend here, the boy, he can carry anything that you might need, just to take some weight off your shoulders.
Oh, please. Please do.
And I will go, boy, over here.
Yeah, Jahin comes he's got his torch and he comes and he looks at her and he's like, "Oh boy, okay."
Would you mind carrying the lady's effect?
Oh, yes, anything. And she hands over like the dirty backpack and bedroll and stuff that she has.
Well, on our way, shall we go?
Shall we? And she follows. And you can see that around her neck is like some kind of druid craft bracelet, necklace, and she's got a bunch of that stuff. She starts to make her way.
Druid craft like the Addis were sent after you? Never mind.
Yep. She starts making her way back with Clintok back to the camp. Dustin, give me a D6 roll.
3.
D12.
A 1.
Sorry, 2d6. There's a reason there's not a 1 on this chart because it's a 2d6. Wes, give me a d6 roll.
6.
Felix and Jalak, you take care of the bandits. Jalak takes them over to the Hobgoblin camp. He says that they were pretty excited. He didn't ask any questions. They took the bodies. The watch ends, and Felix and Gluark get their gear and they head up the road. And they head out, like stepping it, moving. Clintok is comes back. And you took the last watch, so you're up, presumably with Dollie, the old woman, as she sits by the fire.
Nice. All right, sounds good.
And as you're sitting there, you hear Remy yell like, I think I have a problem.
Get up immediately and head in the direction towards Remy.
Okay, so Remy's like sitting there and she turns around and one of the yaks seems to have stepped in a sinkhole and is like sunk like almost up to like the legs are all the way in.
Oh, this is not a me problem, dear, but let me see if I can get somebody to help. And I will shake the other Basil awake.
Okay.
It appears one of our yaks has fallen into a sinkhole. I don't know if those strong arms of yours can heave it out, but if not, we could probably get some hobgoblins to help.
Shh. Amateurs. Watch and see how it's done.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
How deep is the sinkhole?
It's pretty dangerous for you to walk into it. If you could lasso the yak, probably pull it. You might be able to pull it out.
Well, how deep is it?
Right now, it looks about. It's sort of forming. It's like you can see it's in the process.
Oh, okay. So it's not like it's falling through and it's like 10 feet down.
Right. No. It's only a couple of feet right now. You can see it's kind of like the earth, the dirt and earth are kind of like falling in.
But who knows how deep it really is.
Who knows how deep it is? Correct.
Could just use a randomized throwing dart. Maybe it'll make the yak really big or it won't fall in.
It might make it small and have it fall all the way in.
Yeah.
And then,
or maybe it'll grow wings. Who knows?
So I think he would try to grab some rope. Zofan has rope, and he would have no qualms about stealing Zofan's rope.
Okay.
I imagine at this point Zofan probably passed out.
Yeah.
Clintok will also throw him a length of rope that he can tie together if need be.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, Basil, being a sailor, he knows a thing or two about tying knots, and he fashions a lasso and wraps it around the yak's kind of chest area, like neck, and begins to pull it gently, so it moves.
So give me a strength roll. Roll under your strength.
Oh, it's a 14. That could be. Oh man, my strength's a 13. I'm gonna hustle point.
I will intercede and say, just wait 1 second. So as you're doing this, right, you've got one end of there's length of rope left, right? So Clintok is watching, and probably Orion is up at this point. And you see Basil pushing and strengthening, but what Basil doesn't see is Pernala gets up and grabs this rope and almost pulls Basil back and pulls the whole yak right out of the sinkhole. And then she steps away and walks away, and Basil's like standing there. You pulled the yak out.
So remind me, which one's Pernala?
She's the half elf that you got in Twin Rivers, and they got into the fight, and she lost a couple fingers.
Oh,
yeah, she's not just a little strong, is she?
She's pretty strong, and I rolled a 1.
Nice.
Pernala basically says, "Oh, you do it this way." Okay.
Hey, Pernala, and Basil goes after her. He's gonna start talking training regiment.
She's like, "Oh,
That's so typical.
She looks over like half asleep. She's like, I thought you wouldn't see that.
No, that was amazing.
Oh, it was all you. I gave you a little assist.
Oh no. So like let's walk through your diet regimen.
Can we do this like tomorrow at some point?
Well, sure, but it's gonna keep me up all night until I find out more, until I figure it out. But I guess that's a me problem.
It's a lot of rice.
Rice. Okay. Like how many cups of rice per hour?
It like 3 or 4.
Oh, I've only been doing one. That's where I've gone wrong. Okay, rice. And that's it?
Well, there's some I think there's some other foods in there as well. Just stick to the rice first.
I get it. You gotta ease into it. You start off with a good base, and then you add on things. You add on tastier things later.
Probably some blood pudding would help too.
Oh, I know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow.
She goes and lays down. So everybody make a con roll for their rest for the evening. You get, I believe, a +2. So whatever your con is, add 2 to it and roll under that number.
Roll the 2, easy enough.
So Basil passes, and Zofan also passes,
Yeah, both
Okay.
Felix and Clintok pass.
even with his -4.
That's crazy.
They really need the concussion victims really need their rest.
If you don't fail, I'm going to do it a little bit different. So needless to say, Jahin and Remy both fail. They wake up. Jahin is just he wakes up. He's like, oh, crick in my neck. He's like, I think it was come from carrying that backpack. Oh, man. And Remy's just like, oh, I need to hit the flask some more. And she sees she's got like getting 2 black eyes. And it's weather time. We gotta see what the weather is like for this wonderful day. Let's see. Russell, give me a D12. This is a D12 roll. On the 17th.
A D12. Right. 2.
Give me a D6.
Follow-on ones are never happy events. What was that? We were sailing in the night event, and someone sold their soul. That would be a 3.
As the morning has come up and the wind picks up and it begins to snow.
Oh, lovely.
And it is snowing. It is a full-blown snowstorm. So Clintok, I'm sorry, not Clintok. Glurk and Felix are traversing to Jalak's camp in the snowstorm.
Gross.
I just assume you're going to anything in particular you're going to do during the day.
Not freeze.
That would probably be a good idea. Keep the fire going.
Yeah. Clintok will try and build him a little like snow wall to like protect himself from the wind.
Yeah. All told, it will snow 3 feet.
Yikes.
So there's 3 feet of snow on the ground.
Damn strange weather.
At that point, Clintok is just building himself like
An igloo.
yeah, like basically just a hole in the ground that he can crawl into.
All
Yeah,
right.
you can sort of do that by packing snow. Setting up the tents is normal, but if we have them, but packing snow on top of them, so helps you have a form.
Yeah.
So it will take, unfortunately, it's going to take probably 2 days, like going straight through the night to the next day for Felix and Glurk to make it to Yusida's camp. So it is the evening of the 17th. What is the watch?
Probably the same.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same rotation.
Yeah.
Zofan and Orion first. Well, there's no Felix.
Yeah. Clintok.
Clintok last.
Yeah.
Your newfound friend. Let's see, Orion. Let's see, Dollie. Dollie will join Clintok.
You lock somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah, Jalak's in the middle, and we'll say Basil Bessex taking the second one.
Yep.
All right, so Wes, give me a D6 roll as we begin the evening.
2.
All right, roll 2d6.
12.
All right, roll 2d6 one more time.
7.
7, and then roll it 2 more times.
6 and 4.
Dustin, give me a D6 roll.
4.
And then Russell, D20.
That would be a 14.
So Zofan and Orion in this snowstorm has continued. It's been snowing all frigging day. And your watch passes without event. The hobgoblins still are over at the camp, are still continuing whatever training. You start to get a pattern of what they're doing. Like certain groups go out, certain groups go in. They have they seem to continue doing the same thing, regardless of what the weather is doing. Basil and Jalak, you guys are on watch, and you see coming down the road, dressed in heavy cloaks, covering their face, everything, and the wind, covered in snow, is a figure coming down the road, headed south
Towards us.
towards you. Yes.
Basil reaches for a Percival rock.
Okay.
Hello there.
You see them kind of look up, and they sort of spot you for a second, like maybe you make eye contact, and all of a sudden they vanish.
I know it's not my watch, but vanish as in like walk away, or vanish as in poof, invisibility.
Yeah, Basil Bessex would be familiar with this. It's invisibility. That's what it seems like makes sense to him.
That's a good trick. I mean, no trouble. Just thought I would say hello. Maybe talk training regimens. It's been snowing out here all day.
God, what's your character's wisdom? No, never mind. It's just how you play it. It's funny as hell.
So he would wait a little while to see if like his pleas for social engagement go unanswered.
Unanswered, huh? Okay. Give me a 2d6 roll. Add your charisma.
I don't know what's good. But that is a 9.
Okay. So you're watching, and you can see footprints in the snow approaching you.
Basil's gonna pretend like he doesn't notice them.
And you hear him say, I don't wish you any harm. Are you friend or foe?
If I was a foe, I would be attacking you right now. I hoped I would be a friend. It's been a long night and a long day. Are you traveling out? Are you traveling on your own through the snowstorm?
Yes, I am. I am alone.
Are you a wizard? Is that how you can turn invisible?
So he he appears. And it's he's not very tall, and he is got a heavy cloak on. He kind of shakes off the snow, and he says, "Yes, I am practiced in the ways of the arcane. If you must know."
That's fortuitous. We actually lost our person who knew arcane, knew kind of some magic. They fell victim to the Ape Empire. By the way, if you're going south, there's an encampment down there. We took out a good chunk of them, but should still be careful.
No, I am headed south to seek out the old abbey.
What's there?
Secrets I am interested in.
Oh, like the secret to muscle gain.
Could be very much.
The only god I know, or the god I know best is Cuthbert. Is this an abbey of Cuthbert?
This is a confusing conversation.
You said you're going to the abbey. Isn't an abbey associated with a god?
Oh, long forgotten gods, yes. I do not know which ones they are. I just know there are secrets there I wish to find.
Oh, well, that sounds quite fulfilling. Have you been traveling long to get there? And where is this abbey? In case there are secrets.
It is south. It is south. If you head south far enough, you will see the remnants of it. It's not far off the road.
Well, I appreciate that information.
Side note, I forgot to do the camping. We'll just say I'll give you the credit. There's a fire going. So he kind of takes his cloak and shakes it out, snow out, and puts it down there. He's like, "You don't mind if I sit here by the fire? It looks very inviting." And as he does that, he's wearing a leather jerkin that is dyed in many different colors.
One of our compatriots wears a similar leather tunic.
You don't say.
I can't remember. Who is that?
It's Zofan. He always goes on about the Guild of Many Colors. I think he's passed out. And he looks over and sees Zofan like,
"What do you know about the guild?"
not much. Zofan doesn't really talk about it all that much. It sounded like he was part of a local chapter, but it was pretty small, so he went to go search for other guild members. Try to make a bigger name.
So as he gets closer, you can see his jaw is like, it looks like he's had a horrific injury because his jaw looks misshapen, like it's been broken many times. It's like swollen, it's like jetting out as he gets closer to the fire.
What chapter are you part of?
The chapter around Smithport.
Well, Zofan would be very interested to learn more about your guild membership. I'm more of a chainmail guy myself. Sorry. Is that offensive?
No. You can see him just warming by the fire.
Okay, good. Yeah, he keeps concussed a lot, so I don't know how much that his colorful armor actually helps, but maybe he needs a helmet. Do you have a colorful helmet? Some sort of leather colorful cap you could put on his head?
No, but you could go to the camp to get him a helmet. He points. He's like, "Isn't that some sort of hobgoblin camp? How are you staying so close to this hobgoblin camp without any issues?"
Oh, we're on friendly terms with them. At least this clan.
And
There
he
are
looks so he kind of looks over, and Jalak is like sitting there staring him down. I see. Yes.
He's cool. Don't worry about it.
Well, if you will permit me to stay by the fire for a bit, and then I will be on my way.
Of course.
He sits there by the fire, and as you're sitting there by the fire, you hear this horrendous noise coming from close to the camp, like on the near where that rock is. And all you do is you see like a bunch of snow just go like falling into the ground, like a sinkhole or something opened up.
That's not good.
He looks at you and says, "These lands are very unstable. You should not camp here very long. How long do you wish to stay here?"
Oh, we were hopefully leaving, in a day or two, but we may need to pick up camp and move sooner. We had to pull a yak out of one of those. You know how hard it is to pull a yak?
Yes. Yeah, I see you have many. Where are you headed?
Well, we have to clean up the Ape Empire camp. After that, we're headed to another world.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, could use a few secrets from this abbey, mayhaps could help us get there. Have you ever thought about I know you're just using fire, but have you ever thought about joining the Thunderous Fury? It's a highly credible organization that's an adventuring company of sorts.
Raises an eyebrow. He says, "The Fury, you say? The ones who started all the trouble in Clinkville, I've heard."
Right. You just told him we were a major cash cow.
Trouble is a subjective term.
It is a flashpoint now that those who follow Cuthbert are assembling there. At least that's what they say. There could be a major conflict.
Well, I'm not a religious man myself, but if there was no place for Cuthbertites to congregate before, at least they have a place now. That is some of the cruelty of the Ape Empire. They just a small taste. Refusal to allow so many freedoms that people need to exhibit just to get by, such as worship whatever gods they want or eat whatever food they want.
They are very covetous of their magic abilities.
That too, confiscate all magic. I'm sure you are no less a mark.
Yes. I will warm by the fire here and hopefully make my way. Hopefully this will, he kind of looks up at looks into the night. Hopefully this will break soon.
Hopefully. Well, stay as long as you need, and then we'll see you around. And if you decide you want to join the crew, we'll have a spot open.
Basil doing his recruiting. So yeah, this guy stands by the fire. His jerkin looks just like Zophan's Guild of Many Colors. And which was funny because I rolled randomly and got a leather jerkin dyed in 7 bright colors containing, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll take that. Is it, coats of arms of 7 brothers? I was like, no, I'll take the bright colors. Russell, give me a D6 roll.
A 6.
So the rest of the evening passes without event. The mysterious stranger picks up before Clintok and Dollie make change out, and he shakes his cloak out and leaves. And Wes, give me a D6 roll. So let's see what the weather is today.
3.
So instead of it's blowing snow this time, but it's only like 3 inches, and it's about 30 degrees.
Nice.
So all that snow on the ground is probably just blowing it around. And if you investigate, there's a huge 6 foot, not huge, 6 by 5 foot chasm that's opened up near where that rock was that some of you heard the night. Jalak would do the cooking again, so just go ahead and give me a roll for Jalak. He's going to do the cooking. They had a fire going.
Well, we hear a screech from Dollie when she realizes that. Whatever.
I can roll for Jalak.
Okay.
It's a 5.
Okay. So yeah, Dollie is not crazy about who's serving her the food at all, but she eats it anyway because it's better than what she had, which looked like tree roots and grubs. And is Jahin or Orion going to do camaraderie?
Obviously, I'm going to aid Jahin in doing camaraderie. I'm training the boy up.
All right. Give me a D20 roll.
A 12, but that should be under his considerable.
Yeah. So everybody give me a con roll for the next day, because and you get a +2, same deal.
Ooh, that I need to check. Survey says.
Zophan.
Nope, I failed that one. What happens if you fail?
Roll a D6.
Oh boy. 4.
Okay. You have a -1 to anything to do with Dex for the day.
And Felix failed and rolled a 3. I don't know if you want separate roll for.
Don't worry about Felix.
Okay. Clintok passed though.
Okay.
Oh, that sucks. Oh well, minor. Not minor, but relatively.
Pernala is feeling the effects of pulling that yak out. It was delayed, but she's feeling the effects of it.
They both Basil and Zophan passed.
Okay, good.
Is it D3 every day to heal or heat points recovery?
I think it is. Yeah, it's a D3. Well, that's right. Some of you guys are still.
So that's Zophan is hurting.
Yeah, Clintok's still got a few scrapes.
Jahin, Pernala and Jahin both failed, but Remy passed. She drank enough from her flask. It is all right. So it is the 18th, but it's blowing snow. The mysterious stranger visited in the middle of the night. You guys are right here near the camp. Same deal. The camp is still moving as it did when there's 3 feet of snow. When there's no snow, there's still troops moving out. They're doing their exercises, and Felix and Gluick make it to the Yasida's camp again, amidst the snow and everything. This kind of overhang with the pillars. Yasida comes out again with those two half giants, and they drape this. He's wearing like this. He's like, it's almost like it's a professional wrestler. He's got this huge cloak on, and they kind of take it off, and he kind of looks at you, and then realizes who you are because he looks at your, the weird scars you have on your face, and he looks at Glurk. He says, "What is this? What's the meaning of this? What has happened?"
I return with less than ideal news. We found an ape empire encampment on your lands, only a day away from Lazy Herds, so nearly 2 days from here. And it's quite large. There were, in estimation, at least 100, and they seem to be harvesting some sort of fungus.
Whatever they're harvesting, it's on my lands. It belongs to me. I should be harvesting this.
I do not dispute such a thing. We came here to let you know so that you could march on them.
They will pay for what they've done. I gave you my word. I sent you that note.
Yes, you did.
And we will fight. What can you tell me?
What can I tell you?
What can you tell me about this camp?
There is an illusion. The camp exists in what seems to be an empty valley, and as you cross, you will feel its sickness, maybe. And once you've passed to the other side, assuming you're not sickened, you will be sickened by the dirty apes existing on the other side. They have enslaved several humans to do their work for them.
This arcane trickery will not. We are stronger than this. This will not bother us. And Glurk's like, kind of not looking at him. Okay, not looking at you. I gotta tell you, made me sick and I was throwing up.
Yes, you should make sure to bring those with the greatest fortitude.
We all have great fortitude. That's how we got here.
Ah, yes, of course. Maybe your half-giant friends there. What better to scare the apes than something bigger than them?
Yes, apes on our lands. They take, but they never give.
No, never.
Consider, I will vanquish them.
When do you march?
Soon.
I worry if you hold too long, they will reinforce. We took down several of theirs, but they numbered great.
Did you fought them? Did anyone suffer? Did you lose anyone in this battle?
Well, one of our rank was captured. We seek to return him if possible, but we know not of their trickery.
They bring magic and corruption. And this I will not stand. And he looks at the half-giants. Fetch me my armor and weapons. I will round up a group here, and we will go to the camp. We will make our way, and I will round up warriors there. You will lead me to this place. And we will vanquish these apes once and for all.
Hear, hear.
So the half-giants go back inside one of the doors and carry out his armor and stuff, and he starts putting it on this leather. It's like this leather armor with these like snake symbols and stuff on it, and he's got two swords, two scimitars. He puts on this helmet. It's almost looks like got wings. It goes up, and it's got a serpent coming out of the top. We will gather this group together. We will feast on yak meat, and we'll be ready to fight.
Very well then.
And he starts to. It's probably takes an hour, The half giants accompany him, and he has the big cloak on over his armor.
Yeah, nice.
And there's the half giants and like two other warriors with him. He talks to like one of the, you would guess probably like second or third in command, and he speaks in Hobgoblin. And Glurk just says that he is just giving him instructions on what to do.
Very well.
And you guys, okay. So through the blowing snow or whatever, you hustle and make your way back to the camp. And that is like the evening of the 18th, as you guys are all kind of like hanging out. And you see Yashida show up. That guy too. With Felix and Glurk and two half giants and two other warriors as they make their way into the camp as evening falls.
You made it.
We return unhindered by this foul weather.
Was there any complications?
Outside of the blizzard, no.
Good. It's been cold here, but we've managed to keep the fire going and keep spirits somewhat high.
I see she's returned. He glances over at Jolene and whoever it is, since he doesn't actually know.
Yeah, Yasida spots her, and he's like, is this one you have captured? Is this one of the ones that work with the apes? As you can see him starting to reach for his weapons.
No. She is helping us out.
Dollie just kind of looks over at her or Jolene, and they look back at Yasida.
We'll be able to make it to the encampment by tomorrow, I think.
I will go to this camp right now. And him and Glur walk over to the Lazy Hair Herd camp. And you could, like, you hear the talking and everything, and all of a sudden it gets quiet, and people start barking commands as he starts rolling through the camp. All right, so you've got Yasida and his group. You've got Dollie to assist. It is the evening of the 18th. It's not ideal weather. All right, make sure you remove 3 rations from each character. So this evening, as the as it gets dark, right? Because it's, blowing snow. And Yasida has gone over to the Hobgoblin, the camp. Glur comes over and says, those who are engaged in this fight shall come into the camp, and we will feast.
Good.
And he starts to go, Glurk starts to walk over, and you can see some of the two of the half giants are sitting over there, and they're examining the different yaks.
Oh boy.
Why are we feasting on our yaks? Orion says that.
For the fight ahead, of course.
Uh-huh. And you said I didn't supply provender for what reason?
We do not have yaks at our camp. Do you not wish to win this battle?
Are you going to make blood pudding?
We will drink its blood, of course. However you wish to call it.
Remember, last time I think they passed around a goblet of blood.
Yes, they
make
did.
rolls on that. He had to make rolls on that. Yeah.
So, whoever is going to partake in this attack, he is invited over to stay at the camp this evening. He also says that he would like everybody to sort of move closer to the encampment, like move your camp like right in front of their camp.
Got it.
For my character, A, yes, B, yes, because if the Ape Empire comes looking for us, I like to have lots of meat shields around. And I will partake, but I'm trying to keep them away from my damn yak since they knocked off one of mine last time.
Does Karn have a yak?
He does.
Okay.
Oh, he's not going to need it.
He doesn't need it anymore.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll redistribute the supplies then.
Zofan, you are at -2 at this point due to the concussion. Remy is at -1.
Ooh.
So whom is going to go on this excursion? What is the plan? As Yasida has asked for whomever is going to come in this great fight against the Ape Empire, who is what is the plan for this great battle?
Well, obviously we will lead them to the area since it isn't immediately visible. I will have an aside with our people and basically say, but if they think we're leading the charge, think again. So we will lead them to the area and join them in the fight, of course.
Clintok will point out that there are 2 routes into the camp. One that the giants will need to take unless they want to trailblaze through briars.
Okay.
And you might send a smaller contingent through the briars, is either an early sneak attack or a kind of pincer action.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion.
Ryan points out that one of the actually useful druid spells he has is that entangle that you've seen him use previously, and would be perfect for the Briar area if we got in trouble. So
Snake.
maybe we won't. Maybe our group goes through the side, as you mentioned. What? What you snickering at, Pete?
Go ahead and say that again, Wes.
Ixnay on the magic. Hey there, Orion.
Yeah. I'm not going to. Again, sorry, that was internal, not to Yasida. Our internal planning is generally not something I was discussing with Yasida because, I'm using you as a meat shield is not exactly politic.
Yeah. Well, sounds like a perfectly good idea to me. But you'll have to get the apes to fall back towards and chase for that. Which maybe is possible. Getting the jump on them on the other side might not be the worst idea. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Remy,
I'll with hitting them from both sides.
Yeah.
Just makes no sense.
Do you think what we did to the barrier last time, do you think they will have fixed it?
She holds up the spell book. She says, "No, we've got this weird glyph restoration. So obviously they can't fix it unless there's somebody else in the camp who can do that."
Well,
you swipe the repair tool. Fantastic.
Well, in that case, we should definitely tell our hobgoblin friends about that development.
Yes, we will spin it as, well, last time we destroyed their magics and took away their ability to repair it. So hopefully their magics will be still be damaged and unable to hinder the worthy, which is of course yourselves.
I have selected 10 of the finest warriors in this camp. They will accompany me in my entourage. That should be sufficient to defeat these apes.
Internally, mentally. Oh shit, he's overconfident. I mean, we told him numbers. He either didn't believe us or he's overconfident. Oh well. Thank you.
Well, I mean, who knows how strong those giants are?
And you saw them. Well, we saw them training. They didn't stop for the weather. And whatever weather, they just continued training and drilling. So hobgoblins are hardy warriors.
They could all be badasses, but numbers matter at some point.
Dollie does not enter the camp. She is outside the camp with the rest of you guys. She really doesn't want to be inside the camp. And she gets the impression that they don't want her inside the camp, so she doesn't go in.
That seems like a good idea.
All right, so Yasida and his group, the 12 warriors are going to go through the briars. Yasida and the 2 half giants you mentioned something about this other side. They will go around the side that you mentioned. So who else is going?
Both Clintok and Felix are gonna go.
Okay, are you taking the non-briar side?
Yes.
Basil will go. Zofan is still concussed, so
Okay.
he's gonna sit this one out.
All right. And which group are you going with, Basil?
Basil will go with Yasida.
All right. It's Basil Bessix.
Yeah.
He wants to make a good impression.
Muscle men.
Well, I'm going with. I'm definitely. Well, A, I'm definitely going in, and B, I'm going with wherever the rest of Thunderous Fury goes, because
Okay.
don't, especially when if I guess, I was going to say when, but if I start slinging spells, I don't trust the hobgoblins.
Okay. Dollie will go with you because she's not going by herself with a bunch of hobgoblins. She says to you, Jolene, it may be too tempting for her. And she smiles as she looks at the fire. Okay. Do you give her the spell book?
Tell Jolene that that was payment for services rendered. We've not gotten that far yet. I will keep it on me, and once we're through this, and we make sure that we don't need your assistance on the other side, then you'll get your spell book. I keep to my word. You can ask anyone.
So yeah, she. So I am glad that I actually saved Dollie, the randomly generated encounter. So I could have her stats. She is going to change out one of her spells to your benefit. So
Nice.
So what is the plan? You're going to go in and attack, and then you guys are going to head to.
Well, we're looking either for Karn or for the portal out. And the general plan, again, is the meat shield plan. We will use whatever wording is necessary to herd the hobgoblins, through the portal if possible, to keep them, to make sure that they distract. There you go. There's a nice word. If there's not a portal, if it's just teleportation, well, we'll have to deal with it as is. But our focus besides, take down anything that hits us is rescue Karn. Everybody, of course, can correct me or redirect me. Our focus is rescuing Karn by whatever method is necessary.
Yeah, and in general, we just agreed that like we'd be upfront with them, like, okay, this is going to take us to wherever. If you want to join us, by all means, keep the wrecking crew going.
You don't need to roll. We're not going to roll any random encounters or anything tonight because you're right next to the camp. So Yasida, it looks to you when you want to attack.
Presuming they haven't fixed things, if we go when it's still a little bit dark out, you will have the advantage. I guess that is unless apes can see in the dark. I don't know that they can.
Yeah, how close is it to nightfall? Because that's fairly critical.
Like it's like an hour into night. You know, they got the fire going. They have slain the yak. They're warming it up, you know, to the proper temperature in order to eat it. They're draining the blood, passing cups of blood around. I mean, these guys are ready to go right now. As soon as they get some food in them, they'll be ready to charge out there and attack. Yasida is like pumping them up.
At the stroke of midnight, then?
Yasida looks, it's like, he kind of looks up into the sky. There's some clouds, barely any star. He's like, when the star has moved to this location, we shall make our way.
That works for me.
So the rest of the group is outside, kind of like hanging out there. Remy will come to you guys and say, what's your plan? Is your plan to go through the portal to find Karn?
I believe that's our best option. Last,
yeah, I think that's a yes. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much a yes. We plan to rescue Karn.
How long do you want me to wait?
I wouldn't wait more than 2 days if I was you.
Yep.
Because I don't plan on staying there long.
Yeah, she looks at you with her raccoon eyes. She's like, I don't think I'm in any condition to do anything.
No.
Yeah, understood.
And I suspect you've been hitting the sauce a little bit already this evening.
Only for medicinal purposes.
Of course, medicinal purposes. Hold on. Since we are doing this shit and we may indeed get hung out to dry, thank you, GM, or our own actions could do it. Let me see. Where is my character? I'm looking at my character online. I knew I had my character online. Why the hell? There it is. Seeing if I want to pull anything off the yak rather than leaving it on the yak.
True. Good point. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, if you want to, for like Basil, if you want to interchange any kind of equipment or anything that you and Zofan have, that's fine.
Basil would probably take Copper Willie.
Good. Probably a good call.
And he'd probably borrow his animal fur cloak so that it can knock his AC up to 17. Or knock his AC up 2, which would make it 18.
Okay.
An interesting question. I need to look up bards for a second.
So how I'm going to do this, how this is going to work, because presumably there's going to be a fight. Obviously, I'm not going to roll out the entire Hobgoblin Ape Empire fight on their end. That will be a fight that's going on. I will roll a d6 and to determine who has the advantage and who doesn't, like to determine who is winning per se. You can do something if your characters have a mission. If your characters want to aid in that fight, just tell me what they're doing. And that will help with the roll. So if you're like, hey, I'm going to run over there and like set 2 carts on fire and make them blow up. Okay. or you can focus on what you're doing.
Okay. Well, one thing, couple of different things here. Bards can use one-handed melee weapons. Can I? It's Basil Wilberforce that has the Karn stuff. Can I borrow the hematite sword? Is it
Yeah.
a +1 equivalent?
No, it is not a +1 weapon. It just
What
goes.
does it do?
It ignores anything. So if there's a creature that you can only hit with silvered weapons, it ignores that. If it's magical, it ignores that. If you have, any kind of, it blows right through it.
Oh, it blows right through resistance.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I don't need that. I was thinking it was actually a +1 weapon. I wanted any edge I could have, but I doubt apes generally don't have resistance anyway, so whatever. No, we'll leave the sword behind. Can we beg a healing potion off of Basil Wilberforce? Since
You can get a healing potion. Yes. Is everybody at full health?
I am.
I think you should be close. If not, you might want to rectify that.
Let me roll for the last.
Actually, Zophan's not fighting, but he's now at full health.
Clintok is back to full health now.
Okay.
And Felix is at full health.
Okay. And how long? Let's see. We did 3 extra days.
Oh, I did stat out. Okay, I did stat out. You said and the half giants.
Pete, check me on this.
Yeah.
But I don't think the feather cloak is off cooldown.
I have it written down. You got a couple more days till you can use it.
That sucks. That's such a nice item, but that just sucks. Wait a minute. I am going to pick up the Liaxon's dentures, the things that allow me to cast control water once per day. Because, let's leave a spell item behind. And as a reminder, I have a ring of memory that allows me to store a spell. So give me a second and I will look at the Bard spell list and the Druid spell list and see what I want to store. I hate the Druid spell list. Store Fairy Fire. It's situationally useful when we're attacking at night, so it's useful.
Yeah.
So I have control water through the dentures and Fairy Fire through the Ring of Memory. And then my spells through the card. And definitely taking it's on my list anyway, but just in case I'm taking that damn red transformation dart. Because Hail Mary, it worked pretty well against the demon.
Yeah, in a side note, I thought Basil was going to hit Karn with the dart in the last session. I was like, ooh, this will be
hit him with the dart and hope it turns into the super large.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do that or something. I was like, oh, this.
Well, yeah, if it had enlarged him, it would have. I mean, God, the combat potential of the enlarged creatures is insane.
Yeah, but would the armor enlarge with him?
It's the crop top breastplate.
The yak meat has been passed around. You've partaken in that, drank of the yak blood if you wish. Maybe at some point, there's definitely some drink and mead being passed around. Yusita is taking a couple drinks and he saddles up to Clintok at some point and then says, he kind of looks over outside the camp where like Dollie and Remy and them are, and he kind of looks at Clintok and says, "Do you think I have any chance with her?" As he looks over at Remy.
Consider is going after Remy. Oh, he
Yeah,
tried
because
this
this is like the
before.
last time. Ah, well,
Oh God!
you didn't hear it from me, but if you can find a fine ale or a liqueur, she might find some more interest in you.
I was a bit brash last time, but
That she likes her alcohol,
Oh,
not
yeah.
to get her drunk.
yes, yeah, I got that. Russell, give me a D12 roll. Well, let's see what the weather is as you go and make the great attack here. Is it going to be?
Right.
Well, you had fog last time. That
Okay.
helped.
A thunderous boom sounds, and all are deafened unless they make a roll. Oh, that was on the sea. Whatever a 9 is.
Oh, it begins to drizzle and it's 40 degrees. So you'll probably get there unless you wanted to leave earlier, because you went a day back to the camp. It's going to take you a day back, kind of to go back. So you could say you left a little bit earlier. It's
Sure.
like the AM hours,
Right.
and you sufficiently rested, taking your early rest. And the group marches out and heads out through the hills and the juniper trees, and at night the hobgoblins, of course, got the banner and they're singing their songs of victory. And you pass Lurk's Rest, and Yasida looks over and you see him, like, he taps Clintok or Orion on the shoulder. Is like, you have vanquished the evil from there, I've heard.
That we have.
I'm sorry, I'm
We
not
killed
following
him.
what he's referring to.
The Banshee. Were you there for the Banshee?
Yes.
That Lurk's Rest.
Okay, I was. Okay, the house. He's talking about the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he makes a quick stop, and one by one they go in and they get some water from the stream and
Nice.
feel fantastic.
Anoint themselves, yeah.
Instructs the warriors as they go up, make their way through the pass, through the rocks. You guys go around to where you went, and they're going near this big briar patch. And the warriors, you see them knocking off locusts off of them. And he says, we will, he says something in Hobgoblin, victory to, till the end, till we see Raga vanquish these apes. And the rest of you make their way around, and you're like on this incline where all the rocks are. And, again, you see it looks like an empty, like a valley. The sun it's just beginning to come up, but it's still fairly dark. It's an empty valley. And Yasida just looks at it in disgust. He says, trickery of the arcane.
Yeah.
And he pulls out his 2 scimitars. Are we ready?
I was born ready. I've had my blood. Let's go.
You said it. And he just charges through the illusion and screams something in Hobgoblin. The 2 half giants, who have got like chains around their arms and wearing like cut off shirts in this 40-degree weather, charging behind him, and they go right through the illusion.
And Basil will charge with them, but he will be behind them.
All right, so give me a save versus spells, but the number you need to reach is half. So if your number is 16, you only need to get an 8 or above.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, because it's broken.
Because it is
Is
damaged.
that for all of us and for all?
Yes, if all of you go through, you're going to have to make that save again.
So I've got a 14, so that's got to be
You need
a 7.
you need a 7.
17.
Okay, yeah. You run through and like you're getting hit by like a swarm of bugs or some insects. Like, oh, what the hell? And you break through, and Yasida has got his two scimitars out, and he's like screaming down the hill. And you see all these workers like turning and looking wide-eyed, like, holy shit. And they start running. They drop their carts and they're just running. And you see a bunch of apes start yelling, and they start running up as well. And you hear screams on the other side of the valley as a fight has begun near one of the towers that has been burned. You can see that it's been burned out. And the apes and the hobgoblins just they clash in this huge battle.
Do we see the other group yet?
Yeah, that's the other group. They're coming down like the other side. You guys are coming down the valley. They're coming like.
Gotcha.
You see like streaks of fire going out and like hitting them, and then like you see like one of the warriors get hit and his arm like freezes, and he has to break the ice off of it.
You mentioned earlier things that we might do to help them. Let me see what the range in this bastard is. Entangle, range 80 feet. Not bad. So I'm looking out for myself primarily, but if I see an opportunity to use Entangle to help our allies, I will do so.
Okay.
Range is 80 feet. All plants present within a 20-foot radius area within range bend and twist, entangling creatures inside the area. So obviously, I'm only going to cast if there are concentrations of Ape Empire force.
I take it everybody's run through.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my hustle point because I've actually, despite the Benny, I failed my save on the first time, so I had to use my hustle point to make my save.
Okay.
It's pissed off.
Both Felix and Clintok passed. Clintok will be going pretty quickly behind the giants, Felix will be going pretty quickly behind the giants, and Clintok will go through relatively quickly, but break off from that group once he's through.
All right. So you are casting Entangle to help out that other group?
Yeah, if an opportunity comes up.
If you cast it, you are able to do that, and you can see that does assist the hobgoblins as they are fighting in these vines. These small, what look like small little scrub bushes, kind of like grow up and like wrap around a bunch of the apes, and they're like, "What the hell?" And the hobs come just running and just like smashing into them.
I bet that really throws them off because they're not expecting hobgoblins to use any magic.
No. So as you guys are charging down the hill, there's only a couple apes standing here. You can see the workers are still trying to push these carts into to that building, like they're hurrying. And you see one of the apes comes out, and he's got like a cart, and he starts handing weapons out to the workers, and they're dropping their carts as they're dumping the stuff, and they're like grabbing like spears, and they're like looking around, and they start running towards like your position.
Oh, that looks like another group of Ape Empire people that are begging for an Entangle. Flat.
Okay. Little small scrub brushes, and they start to grow up and like grab some of these workers who have got like spears and like makeshift weapons that the apes are trying to give them, and are like caught in it, confused.
Basil's going to try to help the situation, seeing that there are these workers, slave laborers who are being conscripted and forced to fight on behalf of their masters. Basil will yell, "This is your chance to throw off the yoke of the ape empire. Do not fight us, fight your real enemy."
And Clintok yells from behind, "And free beer for all that survive."
Oh God. The free beer alone ought to make the apes pause, because if any of them have heard about the debacle we caused previously. Free beer was ought to make them flinch.
Free beer.
And once again, by the way, Orion, the bard who should have thought of both of those ideas, looks at you guys and slaps himself upside the head and goes, "Why am I a bard? That's a bard thing. Why am I a bard?"
Basil can give me a charisma roll. +2. 2d6. Roll 2d6 +2.
All right. Oh man, that's 9. 2 4s.
You can see some of the workers look a bit confused, like they're contemplating what you're talking about. They're wondering if like grabbing a weapon would put them on the wrong side, and that's not where they want to be.
If Basil notices that they are hesitating, he would affirm that raising a weapon against us is the wrong move. Raising a weapon against those who have enslaved them is the correct move.
So actually, I can contribute to this debacle. Quickly off the top of his head, when I know the name of a rebel group for a rebel group for the Ape Empire, besides of course ourselves. We're not rebels. We're just gritting the wheels. But an actual rebel group for the Ape Empire, would I know that name?
I mean, St. Cuthbert definitely would be a rebel group.
Yeah, but I want one that's not associated with us. Cuthbert and Karn are associated with us. I'm looking for something that will throw them off the damn track if possible, or at least confuse the issue.
Give me an intelligence roll.
Completely average imp, which is a 10. I roll a 6. I don't have to know what the group is. I'm just going to whatever the group name is. You don't have to make it up or anything. I'm just going to yell it out as a battle cry, in order to cause some minor muddying of the waters when shit goes bad for us.
Okay. So yeah, you yell out some faction that the Ape Empire has known to cause the Ape Empire many problems. So you are like on the outskirts of the camp. The workers are scrambling around, like hesitant about gathering weapons. There's a main force that the apes are fighting on one side, and they seem to be making inroads. They've definitely got the apes' attention, and there's a lot of damage. You notice they haven't fixed anything. And some of the camp is still kind of in darkness, though it's kind of like twilight. It's not completely dark, but there's definitely locusts everywhere, and there's insects.
Nice. They haven't been sleeping very well then, thankfully.
I'm going to roll. Let me roll the initiative. I rolled a 5.
I can start out with +2. Hey, what do you know? 6.
All right. You guys are up first. There is an ape that is handing out weapons. There is another one that has some kind of staff that you have seen before. That has, I believe, a violet gemstone or violet crystal in it. And there is a guard tower nearby with what looks to be, and there's obviously an ape up in the guard tower. And there are 2 workers who are holding spears rather nervously as you approach. The ape that's handing out weapons is back too.
How close are these? Are you saying all of these are within a move away, or
yeah? So we'll just say you're within a move to be in melee combat.
Felix will rush up to the 2 holding spears and attempt with one hand to turn one around and yell at the same time, "Your spear is better pointed in this direction." And use them kind of like, basically a meat shield, but kind of like medieval charging unit where you have like the armored soldier in front and then you have the guy behind with the spear. Also, your squire to pick you up if you fall down.
Okay.
So whatever I need to do for that.
So you're kind of like intimidating him.
Yeah. Definitely like
Okay.
a strength check to like push him around as well.
I don't think you don't need to make a strength check for. Okay, so you just grab this guy. He's like, "Holy shit!" He wasn't ready, and you just like grab him, and he points the spear, and he basically is your meat shield. Like,
All right, and I'm gonna start moving him in the direction of the ape that's like handing out weapons.
yeah,
I will blow the ring charge. And since this is night and it is dark conditions, anybody who targets the spellcaster now has a bright like outline of him visible, and you get a +2 to hit.
Basil Bessex.
Yeah, Basil, can I see where? Because you said there was fire that looked like there was like shooting out when.
Yeah, that's like the other group that
Oh, the
is
other group.
encountering probably the guy with the staff that shot fire.
Gotcha. Does there look like there's anybody who's like anybody with magic that were?
Yes, they're in your group. The group that you have seen, yes, there's one holding a staff. It looks like it has like a violet crystal in it.
That Basil's gonna do is he's gonna throw a Percival rock at it.
All right.
To try to knock the staff out of his hands.
Okay. Give me a attack roll.
Remembering that it's +2 now.
Well, I'm gonna hustle point that because the 3 is not gonna help anybody. All right. All right, there we go. That's a 20, non-natural.
Okay, that's definitely a hit.
It's 4 damage.
So you're trying to knock the staff out of his hand?
Yeah. So like basically he would throw it to try to like hit his hand, which is gripping the staff, so that he would like reflexively like let go.
Okay. I'm going to give him a roll. I'm going to give him a strength roll, and I'm going to take your damage and make that a negative off his roll.
Okay.
Cool.
No, I'll add it because he has to get under his strength, so I'm going to add it to his roll. Okay, 3. So it definitely hurts. You whack him. I'm gonna take 4 HP off. You got his hand, but he didn't let go of the staff.
Okay.
Darn. Good idea. Unfortunately, the rolls worked against you.
Clintok.
Yeah, if in all this chaos, if
Yes.
Clintok can maneuver so that he can get a sneak attack on the staff guy, he will. Otherwise, he's just going to straight up shoot him with an arrow.
Okay, so you'd have to, I'm gonna say, move silently might not work. There is anything else, any other kind of thievy thing? Let's see.
There's hide and shadows.
Yeah, we'll give you hide and shadows.
Oh yes, 18 success.
All right, yeah, you're able to maneuver around this weird like twilight
All right.
in the trees, and you're able to. I will give you a sneak attack on the spellcaster.
+2, 18.
That's definitely a hit.
Right. Damage is 12.
Nice. So he just gets nailed. I think that's everybody. Dollie is near Orion as she is like doing her best to keep up, and she's holding that orb, and she says, what do you want me to do?
Stop the apes. Hopefully she's smart enough to, figure it out from there.
So she looks around. She looks at the orb. She says, which one, Jolene? And then she kind of looks like she converses, and she points her finger up at the watchtower. And you hear an explosion, and the watchtower erupts with fire. Let me roll some damage. Oh, that's
Whoa!
terrible. That's bad. That's better.
He's a little more of a badass than we thought there.
Okay, so the watchtower is like erupts with flame. And she giggles. The one worker goes to attack you, Felix, but obviously you have a meat shield. Yeah. With a 10. But that's enough to hit his friend.
Oh man.
Because he is
Poor dude.
yeah, it's enough to hit his friend. On a spear does 1d6 3. He's like stabs him. He's still alive. He's like, oh.
I'll just grunt out, "You fool! The wrong one!"
Right one from your point of view, not you.
The ape in the tower is going to shoot at Joe. Yeah, that's a miss. So an arrow flies near Orion and Dollie. It sticks in the ground. The one with the staff looks around in confusion. He yells something and he runs back through the workers, headed towards where they're all dumping the spores.
Oh.
He's running back that way.
Nice.
And then the other one turns, and in the commotion, you see that ape kind of like he's handing out weapons. He turns and he spots Basil. And you see him walking through the crowd. And Basil, you look and you realize that this ape has a third eye in the center of his forehead. And for a minute, you like, he kind of looks familiar. He comes up to you and he says, "It is unwise to attack. It is unwise. I thank you for the gift you have given me." And he pulls out this big F off sword and goes to attack you. And for a split second, you realize this is the guy I hit with the dart.
Oh shit!
Oh shit is right. I rolled a nat 20.
Shit.
Did
Whoa.
the dart mess him up?
Oh boy. Poor Basil Bessex.
6 damage. Well, that hits.
It's a nat 20, so that's going to be, and you used your hustle point, didn't you?
I did.
That's going to be 22 damage.
Whoa. Basil's still up.
He's still up.
Holy shit.
He has 24 HP.
He nails you. You're still up, and he's like, I'm impressed. His second attack is a 22 for 7 damage.
So he has an AC of 18.
Yeah, so that's a hit.
Oh, that's a hit. Yeah. Yeah, that he's down.
Basil.
So yeah, he is felled by apparently the ape that he gave a boon to.
Yes, you gave him the third eye.
Really? That was an option with those darts?
Yep, that was one of the options.
So
All
yeah.
right, let me go to the chart here. Uh-oh.
Imagine
God damn it.
how ridiculous Karn would be if he developed a third eye.
We're so screwed.
The Eye of Cuthbert.
Exactly. Come on, where's the stupid chart here?
should be on like a favorite at this point.
Did I take 5 total? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd be at -3.
Okay, yeah, that is important. Roll a d6.
5.
Head injury. Oh no. Roll a d12.
This explains exactly why we keep getting into these situations.
9.
If we keep we're too stupid to not get into these situations.
Maybe my dice just like concussions. They just lean that way.
So you guys notice that Basil, this guy shows up and nails him, and this looks bad. He gets hit once, it practically brings him down. The next hit like hits him, and you see him hit the ground. And there's blood everywhere. Let's see. I don't think that was 1, 2. I don't think the spellcaster ape went. He is going to go after Orion. He takes his staff and rolls a four.
What I thought.
Huh?
Or was that the other guy?
That was the other guy.
14. I think that's a miss.
Yeah, I think that's a miss.
Okay,
hold on. See, my AC is 15. Yay!
Yeah, it hits the ground like right near your shoe, and like freezes the ground. And we go to initiative. I rolled a 5.
Cross your fingers. Somebody with a +1.
I got a +1 too.
Go for it.
You want to try? Okay, I'll do it. Survey says, cross your fingers. I rolled a 5. +1 is 6.
Okay, you're up first. This roll is for the hobgoblins and the apes on the other side. So just ignore that. Okay, thank you.
Well, I mean, spellcaster's going after me. I guess I will go after him. Charge up to the bastard and attempt to spear him. Survey says a 12 with no pluses. Let's hope he is armorless.
Don't you get a +2 from the fairy fire?
Oh, fairy fire. 14 then.
Okay, that's a miss.
Jeez, what's he wearing? Or is he just
Tough.
not obvious? Whatever.
No, yeah.
That's just apes for you.
Yeah.
Did the spellcaster notice Clintok?
There's a lot going on. I'm gonna roll D6, 1 or 2. Yes. No, he didn't notice you.
All right.
Too much shit going on.
Gonna try for another sneak attack. I'm gonna burn my hustle point. Hopefully hit. Yes.
Please take this guy down, because big guy is going to chew us alive in the meantime.
21 for 10 damage.
Now I completely forgot. I had him run back to the thing, and then I had him attack. So we'll say he stepped back out and attacked you guys. I completely forgot that. Okay. Yeah, so you were able to attack him. So yeah, he's run back to where that building is and kind of turned around.
Gotcha. Felix is gonna try and keep charging forward. The ape with the third eye is the one at the cart. Is that right?
Yeah. With Basil Bessex in a bloody heap in front of him.
Yeah, he's gonna keep pushing forward, and if he can this turn, take a swing at the third eye dude.
Yeah, you can.
All right. Does an 18 hit?
Yep.
For 7 damage.
He looks he is very happy that there's now another opponent. I think that's all your guys. Dollie cackles again and points to the tower, and it erupts again with fire. 8.
Damn.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, nice.
8, 15, 23. Let's roll. So yeah, the tower is just like hit again with a fireball. And that ape is like yelling. His hair's been singed. He looks like he's a bald ape now. I believe
And
that is.
He smells of burnt hair. That
Yep.
has to give him a problem.
The one in the tower shoots at Dollie and hits her with a crossbow bolt.
Oof.
She's not happy about that.
Well, none of us would be, but hopefully alive is the answer there.
Yeah, she is still alive. She's taken like right in the side. She's like, oh. The one ape will attack. The one with the third eye goes after Felix. So first he's going to attack the meat shield. I'm not even going to roll damage. It's a nat 20 again. He just like destroys this guy with one swing.
Oh, man.
And it just covers you in blood. And then he, for his second attack, comes after you. Another nat 20.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
The dice are hot.
Can I use my hustle point to force him to re-roll that nat 20?
You've already used it.
No, Clintok used that.
You only have one per person.
Oh shit, you're right. All right, fair enough. Bring on the damage.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Well, that was bigger than Basil's roll. So
Oh, not good. Not
Yeah.
good.
Fuck. What the hell? 3 nat 20s out of this guy?
Sometimes,
I had 3 nat 1s the last game.
yeah, sometimes the dice gods aren't in our favor.
yeah,
13.
it's the third eye.
Yeah,
if we live through this shit, Orion's going to be stabbing himself repeatedly with that dart.
24
Just to
damage.
see if we can-
My HP is 18, so
Okay.
I was at max, so.
All right. So you're negative 6. This guy's taking out 2 of the Thunder's Fury. Roll D6.
Oof, okay. Yeah, different one. 4.
Roll a D12.
2. Wow, that sucked.
You can see he just destroys, covers in blood. Then his second attack just cuts right through Felix's torso, and Felix collapses to the ground right next to Basil Bessex.
It's like we all may be going into.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, we'll get through the portal.
In pieces isn't the preferred method.
Still technically whole, just with new speed holes, so to speak. Shall we
The
say.
ape spellcat, the one with the staff, sees a couple people drop, and he retreats into the thing this time because he was hit like twice, and he goes into the building. The worker runs out hesitantly next to the guy with the third eye, like waiting for instruction, because it's the initiative, the next round.
Jesus Christ.
I rolled a 2, so.
Clintok can roll initiative.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did Clintok go this? Yeah, Clintok went. Yeah, he shot the dude. Yeah.
All right, 5.
Okay.
Does Clintok think he could stealth his way into that hut without, potentially without catching the eye of the guy with 3 eyes?
Yeah, because the guy with the 3 eyes is kind of like focused
Okay.
on the group that's ahead, like Orion and Dollie and well, that's it. Orion and Dollie.
So I will attempt to move silently. Got a 35, so we're good there.
Okay.
And try and sneak up or in close enough until I see the other mage, or the mage dude, if possible, without going in. But if I must, then I will go in.
So yeah, you can get up there, and it's kind of like think of like a gazebo shape, right? Like
Yeah.
a circle. And there's a bunch of entrances. There's a couple wheelbarrows like laying around, and there's spores all through here. And there's a small, not a small, looks like a well in the middle, like a couple feet, like a small wall, like a that goes around in the middle. And you can see there's runes written all around it.
Gotcha.
And it's glowing. There's like very similar to the jade crystal, which I'm going to say, I don't know, one of you has the jade crystal.
Yeah.
I don't know if you probably wouldn't trust Dollie with it. I would guess Clintok would have it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there's a similar jade crystal glowing, and as you look, you can see that there are 3 of them that are glowing around this thing, and he has run over. And he's kind of like looking around, and you see him reach over, and he pulls one of those crystals out, and the runes kind of flash, and he pockets it.
Got it. Roughly how healthy does this ape look?
He's definitely bloodied. You can see, you've shot him twice. He's definitely bloodied. He's definitely hurt.
Now that I think I figured out how this thing works, I'm just gonna go ahead and try and get one last sneak attack.
Okay, yeah.
And a 17, does that hit?
Yep.
Okay, for 12 damage.
So he is down. You hit him again, and he yells in pain, and he's got 3 arrows sticking in him, but he is still up.
Oh, god damn it. Fair enough.
So I got a question.
Yep.
How is damage on that 20s determined? Because I thought it was double, but you're
it is
out.
It is max plus the roll.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bad. Don't get hit with a nat 20 is the
it's the name of the game.
And that guy did 3 of them in a freaking row on camera, so we can't even blame.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, they might all die. Let's see. Save myself, save others. Save myself, save others.
I'm going to roll for the other group that's going on. Just ignore this roll.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't know if I can save myself. That's the fun part of this. Because 3-Eye Guy from our perspective is just like, is like that damn Hydra you threw us up against. I mean, he's just splashed 2 people. No, he splashed 3 people in 2 rounds. Tell Dolores, save yourself. Run over to Basil X. Dump half of the potion vial down his throat.
Okay.
The healing potion vial.
Right.
And with whatever movement I have remaining, I am running towards that gazebo / hut / whatever.
That's basically to dump that is going to half the potion is your action. So and that running up there to do that. So how many is there? 6 in 1, right?
Yeah, there's 6 in 1. I sort of overdid it a bit, just in the hopes that he survives. But I know it's not eat 1 for 1 when people are below 0. I didn't try to min-max this. I just did what I thought would help him survive. Hey, look at it this way, Basil. You'll get captured. You'll be roommates with Karn shortly.
God.
Whole situation sucks.
So it's a D6 plus 1, right? So roll me the first D6.
Okay. 3.
Okay. All right. Now roll me 2 more D6s.
1 and 5.
1 and 5. Basil Bessex, you come to. You have eight hit points. You are at -4 to everything, and you are hurting. He did have a fatal wound, and in another round, he potentially could have been dead. Before we do that, however, just roll save versus death. You will not die if you fail. You just may get, you won't die.
It's a success.
Okay, all right, you got a cool scar. You didn't, lose a point of charisma or lose your eye or anything. So
Nice.
And Orion is standing there, and he's dumped like a bunch of this healing potion on you, and you just kind of come to, and you look, and you can see Felix is covered in blood, and the guy with the third eye is standing there with the sword. He's covered in blood.
Orion's one word. Run or surrender. Well, sorry, 3 words. Run or surrender.
Where am I? He's gonna look around for that three-eyed ape.
He's right in front of. That would be funny. You kind of like, where is he? He's right there. You can do something if you wish.
Run.
Which way? Which way are you running?
Towards the briars.
Okay, so if you run towards the briars, that's towards where the apes and the hobs, that's where the main fight is.
Yeah, it'd be less likely that they would catch us because there's more hobgoblins there. Unless the Yasida and the ogres are like next to us.
The Yasida and the half giants are like adjacent to you guys fighting other people. You could always use a magic item.
That is true. Basil is going to activate his invisibility.
Okay. So he vanishes.
And he is going to move away. But he's not sure if this third eye guy can see him. So he's gonna activate and then just like run back the way he came. And like watch to see if he like notices him.
No, he doesn't seem to pay attention to you.
Okay. Oh, I got to it is for 1d8 rounds. 6 rounds.
Oh, you may get away. Oh well.
All right, you vanish. So Orion did that. Basil's up. Felix is still down. Clintok, have you gone? You went and attacked the dude. Dollie is tired of getting hit, and you see her look at Jolie and say something, and like this magical like dome starts to surround her.
Damn, she's a high-level spellcaster. Either that or Jolie is. We really don't know.
The guy in the watchtower still takes a shot, and you see it's way off, and he misses. You're hiding in shadows, right? Is that how, or you move silently? Is that what you did?
That's what I did last turn, was move silently to like get into the little hut.
I'm gonna say on a 1 or a 2, he doesn't spot you. Okay, so he turns around, he's got his staff, pissed off, he fires. So it's an 18, which is a hit. Yeah. But rolled a 1.
Nice.
So you will take 3 damage. So you're hit, and it's like freezing cold. It like,
yeah,
freezes your skin.
Gross.
That's him. So the third ape kind of looks around, third-eyed ape, and he sees Orion, and he says, leave and be gone.
Wow.
So he's kind of staring you down. I mean, you don't really pose a threat. You ran up there and healed somebody. All right, so it's initiative roll. That's everybody. Now I rolled a 5.
Basil can roll. It's a 7.
Nice.
So what did you roll?
7.
Okay. Is that with your -4?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, Basil shouldn't have rolled. Now the not
Yeah, you don't have to. You can have somebody else. I think Clintok and Orion did, but I don't. You may be the only one who can roll.
It's one of each. I mean, if we keep in the same order, it would be Clintok next.
Yeah. Well, with the -4, it'd be 3.
Okay. Yeah. So
I think that's everyone. That's
yeah, that's can go. The ape in the tower shoots, and it just is not doing very good.
see. If it was balanced out, where the tower ape.
Yep. Yeah. The apes in the tower aren't very good, as you found out. The other ape will take another shot at you with a 19, and you'll take 6 damage.
God damn.
Against Clintok.
Okay.
That's more cold damage as he blasts you with that staff again.
Yeah, you frigid ape.
Thieves, common thieves, and he starts to like move around this little retaining wall to like grab that other gem out, the crystal out.
Mm-hmm.
And the third eyed ape is just kind of looking at you, and you see he like looks over and sees Ysida and the half giants. He says that's more worthy opponent, and he runs over there to fight them.
It's gonna be
it is your turn.
Clintok's just gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Die already. With a 16.
That's a hit.
All right, for 5 damage.
Yeah. Tell me how he dies.
Yes. The arrow just like catches him in the side of the mouth and then like goes back through his throat somehow and is like sticking out the back part of his head, and he slumps over into the well.
Yeah, it's like hanging, and he drops that crystal that he was pulled out, and it rolls on the ground.
All right.
All right, he is
Okay.
dead.
I am going to. Well, first of all, I will yell at Basil. I'm getting Clintok. I will run into the hut, see that there is a corpse and a semi-frozen Clintok. So Clintok, three, I flat out killed Felix and nearly killed Basil, but went to fight the hobgoblins. I don't know what we should do, but you should have a shot of this, and I will use my action to, if you will allow me, to put a dose of healing potion down your throat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight it.
Do you want to roll that 1d6, or should I?
You can roll it.
That would be a 4 + 1. You get 5 hit points.
Nice.
We are down to 2 shots of this thing.
Just say back. I think the well is the portal.
Okay.
That's all I have to say in this matter. And I'll just add that like you have to use these stones.
Well, I told Dollie to run away because it looked like we were all dead. So we might need to go retrieve her.
All right.
So obviously, my turn is finished. Let's see. You kill. Yeah, your turn's done. Dollie's turn's done. Whatever. But yes, I think the next thing to do is go go deal with Dollie, or sorry, go get Dollie so she can ID this crap.
All right. Basil, that's 6, right?
Yeah, he's invisible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? In time-honored tradition, Basil is going to use this invisibility to start setting carts on fire.
Okay. Yeah. You're just gonna use the oil flask and blast them.
Yes.
Love it.
Okay. You don't need to roll just to make sure you deduct it. Yeah, you can just go. You're invisible. Go right up and. And I will say that will help the other group as they fight. This three-eyed ape is going to attack, go after Yusita. So I'm not going to roll for both of them. So how about Dustin?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll for Yusita as he goes to attack. As he's fighting this three-eyed ape. D20. And then
13.
that is a hit. And roll a D6.
5.
So you see Yusita as you're setting carts on fire. Hits him with this sword. And the ape's arm just kind of like almost like freezes over.
Oh shit.
Wow.
And the ape goes to attack Yusita. Let's see what my all right, that is gonna hit him. We'll see if could be a new hobgoblin in charge. And he'll get hit twice.
Oof.
Damn.
Not
Three
looking
eyes.
good.
So he
Three
swipes
eyes.
him, hits him,
Fire.
hits him again, and they are in a scrum.
Yeah.
So that's the third eye guy. The tower ape is going to shoot at Dollie. 15. I don't know if that's a hit or not.
God damn.
I think that's probably a hit. That hits her. Yeah, that's everybody. So it's a new initiative roll.
I think it's my turn.
All right. I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 3, but I've got +1.
Yep, you guys are up first.
All right. Well, I will poke my head out looking for Dollie and realize that Tower guy is still being a bastard and rev up a sling bullet and attempt to hit him.
Okay.
And I will yell at Dollie, in the hut, in the hut.
You look over to where she was and yell at her, and you realize she's laying on the ground with an arrow in her hand.
Oof.
In her head?
A bolt.
Like dead?
She's on the ground with a bolt in her head. That's
Yeah.
how I'm going to describe it. Yes.
Not many people feel good with
Not many people feel good.
Then I am doing same song third verse now and going over and dosing her with a dose of healing potion.
Okay. It's all right. So all right. Healing
So
potion.
I know if I'm seeing her, the whole point is to get her in here. So let's see, 3 + 1, 4 hit points.
Okay, yeah, she comes to and she's got a bolt sticking out of her head. Oh my! Oh, how's my hair look?
And you have a new fashion statement. Run into the hut.
Jolie, why didn't you warn me? She picks up the orb and goes staggering past the tower, like towards the crossbow bolt sticking out of her head. In the next round, she will make it there. She doesn't have a lot of hit points. Okay.
She's
all right.
casting ridiculous level spells that she doesn't have. Oh well, whatever.
Yeah, randomly generated.
Yeah.
How did she survive? Jolene, never mind. Don't answer that. That answers that.
All right, so Orion's on that Clintok. What are you doing?
I'm gonna pocket enough of those stones so that they can't be completed as far as I can tell. Just like grab off of the corpse since he had already picked up.
So yeah, you can pick up 2 of these violet stones, and there's 1 left. So when you look into this pool, whatever it is,
Yeah.
there's like some. It's probably. It's like, yay big. There's a hole in the middle that sort of like looks magical, like it's got like orbs and lights and stuff. It's very faint, and there's a 3rd crystal on the other side that's still glowing that you could go over there and take if you wish.
No, I'll just leave it.
Okay, so you've got 3 of these 2 of the violet
Yeah, and the one
crystals. Yeah, and then you have a jade one as well.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yes. Knowing that, I will go. Knowing that there's violet and jade, I'll go grab the other violet one.
Okay, so yeah, you grab. It takes a little bit, kind of like you got to turn it and maneuver it, but it kind of like pops out.
Got it.
And it flashes. All of a sudden, it flashes, and when you do that and you look in the middle, it looks like a regular well that's made out of. Yeah, they had concrete. It looks like a concrete well. It looked like concrete well before, but it was kind of magic in the middle. Now there's nothing there except like a place where you would put a crystal, like you would set something.
Gotcha.
So you've done that. Orion's done that. Basil, you're setting carts on fire.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll wheel them strategically towards their structures.
Yes. Another cart explodes as you send it towards like one of the towers. All right, so roll for Yasida.
That's a 5.
Okay, that is a miss. Dollie, all right. Okay. Did Felix get any healing? He's still down. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa. My assumption, you told me he was cut in half, or at least that's what I heard.
Well, I didn't say cut in half. I said his torso was cut. Yes.
So if I see him breathing in any way, shape, or form, or still spurting blood vigorously, I will dump the last batch of healing potion down his throat.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. You can go ahead and do that.
Sorry, I thought.
No, you're fine.
I thought based on the numbers and what you said that Felix was just a goner. Sorry, didn't mean to short your character.
No, you're fine.
Literally, I thought, and I rolled a 6, by the way, on the healing. So I thought he was a goner already. My misunderstanding, but
no, that's fine.
He's still struggling for life. We can bring him back.
That brings me to 0.
Okay, so don't worry about that. You are at whatever hit points he just said it is.
Yep.
You're at -4. You've got a nasty cut across your torso. What is your maximum hit points?
My max hit points is 18 currently.
Okay, and you're like 4th or 5th level or something?
3rd level.
Okay, we won't worry about that right yet. Okay, you're at 4 or whatever you rolled. Okay, so yeah, you're kind of like come to a bunch of blood everywhere. Oh, that's right. Yasida is fighting this guy. So the 3-eyed ape. That is a miss. He misses Yasida.
Ooh, nice.
And that I think is a hit.
God damn.
Yeah, that is a hit.
Freaking insane.
7, So Yasida, it rocks back, and he's like, he looks in rough shape, man. There may be a new hobgoblin leader.
You said it still has another round to potentially.
He could pull through. He could, anything could happen. I think that's the tower. Oh, let's see. The tower ape looks around and spots somebody has been helping all these people get back up again. And goes
And
to.
I'm out in the open.
Yeah,
I'm out in the open at the moment.
Yeah, he's like he doesn't have the wisdom of the third eyed ape, thinking that you're. I did not roll a nat 20. It's an 18 to hit, but I did roll a 1 damage, so +2, 3 damage as you're hit with a crossbow bolt.
Damn it. I think we bit off more than we could chew this time.
Meh. We'll be fine.
Says Clintok, who's inside.
We'll be fine, or we'll be fine, or we'll be a pretty corpse. It's Clintok who never took any damage. Well, no, that's right.
I took a decent amount of damage.
He was getting iced by the ape. Sorry.
All right, so it is a new initiative round. I rolled a 6, so one of you. I wouldn't have Basil roll. Well, let's see. Yeah, Clintok can go again. Yeah.
The 6.
All right, you guys go. So you're up.
I will do this round what I swore I was going to do last round, but realized no, he's still blowing blood bubbles over there. And whirl up my sling and attempt to beam tower guy and fail miserably. Not a 1, but a 3. Not a 1, but a 3.
A Dollie makes her way into the structure. She has a crossbow bolt sticking out of her head. She's like, "Oh, we've made it, I see."
Ah, what a wonderful accessory. And I will just like hold out the violet gemstones when she comes on.
Okay. She said, "Oh, wow. I see." And she kind of looks at she says, "Oh, what do you want me to do? You said something about a gate. A portal, perhaps."
Yeah, I have 3 of these and 1 of these, and I pull out the jade one.
So she looks around. Let me give her a roll. Let's see. She's not a complete moron, even with a crossbow bolt in her head. She kind of like looks, and she confers, with Jolie a couple times, and she takes the jade crystal. That's glowing jade, and she sets it in the middle of this well. It looks like it fits perfectly, like it was cut to fit in that spot. And when she does that, you see an arch of a doorway open, like appear, and there's like a shimmering door. She says, "Oh, your portal, your doorway."
Oh, well, wonderful. And I'll use my turn to briefly peek through the other side and then come back with the intent of hopefully not alerting whatever is on the other side.
So as you go up to it, she says, you go up to it and it's like you can't press through it. She says, "It's locked, my dear." But Jolie can open it.
No.
But that'll be next round.
She says that we've got other problems.
That's basically my turn.
All right, so Clintok, so Felix, you come too.
After I cough up some of my own blood and just like look at the somewhat gaping wound in my side,
Yep.
I'll stumble up and take a survey of what's going on. Realize that I'm in no shape to be fighting, and make towards like the central hut, which we had previously believed.
Yeah. You don't have to go as far. Well, Jolie doesn't move as. I mean, Dollie doesn't move as fast. But yeah, you're injured. So we'll say next round you could easily get there.
Okay.
But you're making your way there. Basil, you're still burning carts.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still burning carts.
Okay.
What's that third eye doing?
He is fighting Yasida.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yasida looks like he's on death's door. Like one more hit, he's going to be dead.
How the hell is this guy getting 2 attacks around anyway? Nobody gets that.
That's what the apes have been doing.
Yeah, that's what apes
Really?
do.
Yeah.
No wonder they win. They outpower everybody on the battlefield.
Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Yasida looks like he's losing. Basil might, roll a burning. I think Basil's gonna roll a burning cart into them. Just to really give him something to chew on.
Okay.
Still invisible.
All right. So you like set a card on fire and like roll it into him?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a D6 roll.
3.
So yeah, you roll it, sets on fire, and you roll it into him. It knocks into him, and you singe him. Go ahead and give a roll, D20 roll for Yasida as he is on his last legs. Can he do it?
Oh, that's an 18.
That's definitely a hit. Roll a D6.
4.
And then roll a D4.
2.
So you can see that where he hit him, that cold and ice is like still on him, and he cuts him again, and yeah, he's definitely bloodied. Okay, so let's see. It is the third eye guy, and we'll see it. It's at that would have been max damage, but the cart has
Just nudged his arm.
God. I mean, at least it was a 6. That guy's been absolutely on fire for 2 hit rolls.
wow.
Oh,
The cart. I say the cart did it. The cart has completely thrown him off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He is still up.
Yasida gets another chance.
Yep.
Threw his game off.
Yeah, the tower ape has got. He's got the one target, Orion, who is the problem here. And that is going to be a 6 plus 4, a 10, which is a miss. So a crossbow bolt fires, goes past you.
Orion just looks up at him and goes, "Can you not?"
I'm kind of busy right now.
Let's see. So I think who's left is either Felix or Basil at a -4 to roll the initiative.
Okay.
And I rolled a 5, so I don't think you can beat that.
Nope.
Oh,
poor Yasida.
Let's see. Does Yasida's luck run out? It has run out.
Oh.
And Yasida drops to the ground. You see this, Basil. He yells out something in Hobgoblin as he crumples to the ground. He definitely got the attention of the guys, the half giants. And one of them has come running over as the third eye ape just stands there, looks at him. You see the tower ape kind of step away from the tower, and he kind of vanishes, moves away from where he was shooting at you. So so Felix can make his way there. So I don't know if Orion is going to make his way to the.
Oh yeah. I know the rest of the party is in the hut.
Okay.
If nothing else, there is solidity. There is some benefit to everybody being together. So I will go into the hut and see what the hell's going on. Especially if Tower Guy is not going to keep picking at me.
Yep.
Not that I blame him.
So Orion, Clintok, and Felix are all inside the hut. Is Basil going to make his way there, or are you just going to get involved in this fight?
Oh, Basil's was just causing mayhem on the outskirts.
Okay.
He sees everybody heading into the hut. He's gonna follow invisibly.
Okay. You enter the hut. Dollie goes up and kind of just like raps on this thing, and she says, "It's unlocked. It's unlocked now."
Clintok is gonna like peek in.
Okay. Like look inside.
Yeah, and then back is, once he gets a good view.
It's like a large. It's a large room with a lot of arches in it, and there's like a marble floor with some kind of design going along it. Just kind of peeking in. You notice that there is, on the far corner of this room, there is an ape at like a desk talking to another ape. They're just kind of like conversing.
And are they like roughly in the direction they'd be paying attention to the portal, or?
They don't seem to be paying attention to it right now.
Okay. Pull myself back in, and I'll just say there are a couple apes on the other side, but we can probably make a run for it if you want.
Now, they were not in armor. They looked to be in commoners' clothes. They're not commoners. They more.
They're not ready for a fight, personally.
Correct. Aristocrats' clothes,
Gotcha.
Well, let's see. Our options are. So Felix is in no shape, no matter what. Felix is in no shape to shit. So he's really not that we can't split the party, but does Felix want to go on, or does Felix want to call it a bad attempt and attempt to heal up?
Live by the sword, die by the sword. We march forward.
All right. Orion goes, well, it would make a great story. The only problem is nobody's going to be alive to tell it. Oh, well, I'm with you. I guess we is climbing into a teleportal.
All right, so Felix is going to go through.
Yeah.
Orion will follow him.
Yeah, at that notion, Clintok will also follow.
Okay.
Basil's like, ugh, we can't even defeat them here. What are we going to do in Lindbergh?
As you say this, and Clintok is passing. Before he passes to the other side, he says, "Hide."
With his head injury, he's not thinking straight, so he just walks through.
Oh, guess I'll follow everybody else. Oh God.
And with that is a good place to stop. Ah. Oh boy.
That ape with the third eye. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt, man.
Now I will.
Legitimate 20, 3 legitimate nat 20s in a row. God damn.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, Basil will go. Like Basil's got 24 hit points. Like it's pretty hardy, and not hardy enough to fend off 2 crits.
No.
Yeah, the ape, all that did, so it didn't make him any tougher to fight.
Yeah.
The third eye. So don't think like, oh, I gave him the third eye and he was harder to fight. Actually, he was the same as the other guy. You fought the other guy that had killed him that time.
Yeah, it was just.
So I was like,
Yeah.
what does the third eye do?
What does it do technically? That's a good question.
Besides, really gnarly.
Because he didn't see my invisibility, which I would have thought.
No, it only, it makes your wisdom 18.
Just flat out sets it to 18.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. Especially if you took that as a stat.
Fuck. Again, if Orion knew this, he'd be repeatedly stabbing himself with that remaining dart, going, "What? No, big. What? No, still big. What? Whoa. What? Oh, there's that third eye. Can somebody heal me now?" I mean, really. That's such a freaking cheat. Of course, I'm sure the GM wouldn't let me, but
I mean, if you wanted to,
if
you wanted to stab yourself with the dart, sure.
Yeah. Basil's got one left.
You might need it. You might hope that does something.
I've got one left too.
That might be the ace in the hole there, because you got 2 characters who are running around at -4 to everything. But you do have a hustle point next time, so that that makes a difference.
Yeah.
True.
That will help.
Yeah, that'll fix at most one roll.
Yeah. Just only fuck up one roll. That's all.
Thanks for running, Pete.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun.
Yeah.
But
Chaotic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't know exactly what you guys were going to do, which is fine. I thought you would split the party, and some of you would go to Lindbergh via like boat or something, or go with the attack, and the rest of the group would go south.
Yeah, I guess we all just ended up going to Karn.
Yeah, no, that's fine. With the 4 of you in Lindbergh, presumably looking for Karn through the portal.
I'm sure that will go swimmingly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sooner or later, I thought our luck had run out tonight. I mean, that guy was just, whoop, you're dead. Whoop, you're dead. Nope, you're dead.
Yeah.
Wait.
If only you could turn into a giant bird.
Right.
2 more days. He would have eaten the bird. The damage he was putting out, he would have eaten a bird in a round. Remember, the bird only has an 11 AC, so it gets hit a lot more often. He would have eaten the bird alive.
Yeah, true. Good point.
So appreciate it, guys.
Yep.
Take it easy.
Yep.
Yep.
Like,
All right.
See you later.